Chapter 41. Lin Jiawei had only sent Zhu Yujie to cause trouble for Chu Xiang on a whim. In the end, Mo Xinru had a huge fight with him and moved back to her own house. Mo Xinru and old madam were clearly unhappy, so he had done such a thing to make them happy. How did he end up in such a mess? Li Teza knocked on the door. President Lin, Zhu Yujie is calling. Do you want to answer it? Lin Jiawei waved his hand. There was a hint of annoyance between his brows. Li Tezu immediately understood and left. He said a few perfunctory words and hung up the phone. Zhu Yujie was crying at home. She couldn't help but look at the comments online. Her heart was filled with grievances. It was clearly Mo Xinru's matter. She had only helped her. Why did she get scolded so badly? In the end, Mo Xinru and Lin Jiawei were even angry. They must be crazy. Zhu Yujie was in the entertainment industry, and was especially badly scolded. Everyone didn't know Mo Xinru well. At most, they would say that she was half-hearted. In this way, Zhu Yujie had completely become cannon fodder. She held her phone and trembled in anger. She couldn't do anything to Mo Xinru and Lin Jiawei. Subconsciously, she turned her anger to Chu Xiang. She gritted her teeth and said Chu Xiang's name. What had caused her to be like this? Did she think that she was easy to bully? She would get even with her sooner or later. Zhu Yujie's management company helped her to release a statement. They avoided the main points and insisted that it was all an accident. Zhu Yujie respected Chu Xiang very much and didn't have any bad intentions. If anyone spread rumors and slandered her again, the company would take legal action. Such statements were often made by celebrities. Everyone didn't take it seriously. Instead, they were excitedly guessing if Chu Xiang could be Chairman Mo's daughter. The abandoned heiress grew up in an orphanage and struggled to survive in the entertainment industry. It wasn't easy for her to find true love and marry into a rich family. She was even a substitute. After being tortured by her mother-in-law for a year, she was forced to step down. In the end, she found out that her ex-husband was her biological sister. The substitute story suddenly became a mystery of a rich heiress. It attracted more attention than Zhu Yujie. People kept joining in the discussion. They were slightly excited as if they had guessed something. If this was true, then it would be a melodramatic drama for the rich and powerful. There would definitely be a lot of drama to follow. No one scolded Zhu Yujie anymore, but she was not happy because everyone changed the topic so easily, which meant that they were certain of what she had done. That incident would forever be a stain on her body that could never be washed away. Moreover, if there was no attention, there would be no popularity. Even if she was blacklisted, she would still be popular. Everyone could not even be bothered to scold her. They could only pretend that she was not popular. She was the one who was scolded the most miserably and had the least sense of existence in this entire incident. Perhaps it wouldn't be long before everyone forgot about her. The most unlucky thing was that the company informed her that one of the advertisements had been transferred to someone else. The advertiser thought that her image was not good and decided to replace her on the spot. She lost a job opportunity worth 500,000 yuan. Zhu Yujie hated her to death, but the company asked her to keep a low profile and not cause any trouble. She could only stay at home and recuperate, not daring to make a sound. After Chu Xiang finished the investment, she went back to the company and heard about it from Uncle Dong. She did not expect that the netizens would associate her with the Mo family, and laughingly let Uncle Dong handle it. She just wanted to produce a work as soon as possible. Chu Xiang's schedule at the company was full. The last class was dancing. After dancing, she could go home and rest. Chu Xiang was dancing in front of a big mirror in the practice room. She had to practice every basic movement dozens of times, but the effect was very obvious. Her control of her body had obviously increased. The dance moves she performed were both powerful and beautiful. The dance teacher clapped her hands and smiled. Very good. You've improved compared to the last class. Let's stop here for today. I'll teach you a set of difficult dances in the next class to test your learning. Go back and prepare well, but don't be too tired. Chu Xiang wiped the sweat on her face with a towel and replied, "No problem. Teacher, you've worked hard. I brought you some local specialties when I went to shoot the show. I asked how to send it to your office. Teacher, try it and see how it is." If you like it, I'll bring it back for you next time. The dance teacher laughed. Then I'll have to try it. I haven't been there yet. It just so happens that I've been learning how to bake these days. The biscuits I bake are pretty good. I'll bring them for you to try tomorrow. Okay, I'll go first. You should go back and rest. Chu Xiang raised her chin at her as a greeting. After the teacher left, she took a shower and dried her hair. She planned to go home. When the elevator door opened, she looked up and saw Zhou Yi inside. She walked in with a smile and said, "President Zhou, you're off work?" Zhou Yi nodded and leaned against the wall with a smile. "I was bored, so I left early. Did you just finish training? Are you going back to the dormitory?" "Yes." "Then I'll send you back. I'll chat with you." "Okay, I'll be honored if the boss sends me back." Chu Xiang smiled at him. She walked out of the elevator and sent a voice message to Brother Yong, asking him to return first. Zhou Ye's car was different from the one Chu Xiang saw last time. It was very flashy. He saw Chu Xiang looking at the car. He turned the key ring and asked with a smile, "How is it? Not bad, right? I just bought it. I saw it in a magazine yesterday. It's a limited edition. It's very beautiful. You'll feel better if you sit in a good car." Chu Xiang looked at the car with admiration before getting in. It was much more comfortable than her minivan. She couldn't help but say, "I should get my own car soon." Zhou Yi raised his eyebrows and drove the car out. "Sister Chu, are you asking for a raise in disguise?" "No, but it's okay if President Zhou is willing to." Chu Xiang smiled and put on her sunglasses. She nestled comfortably in the seat to rest. Zhou Yi smiled and said, "That's right. Sister Chu is investing now. If you make money, a car is nothing. What did you invest in? Why don't you work with me? I can give you some advice. People who haven't invested can easily fall into a trap." Chu Xiang closed her eyes and said leisurely, "I don't want to trouble you, President Zhou. I'm okay in this aspect. I can't lose money. I'll definitely pay off the money I owe you. President Zhou, you're not concerned about my financial situation, right? What do you want to talk to me about?" Zhou Yi turned to look at her side profile and exclaimed, "You and Mo Shinru really look alike. You know about the hot news online these 2 days, right? Really? You're not involved with the Mo family?" Chu Xiang chuckled. "President Zhou, there are times when you're so nosy. If there's such a secret in the Mo family, you should know better than me, right?" Zhou Yi smiled and said, "I grew up in B City and came to S City after studying abroad. I really don't know about the Mo family. With your face and Mo Shinru's, you'll probably look 90% alike if you put on makeup. Haven't you thought about it?" Chu Xiang thought for a moment. "I've been in the orphanage for as long as I can remember. My name was given by the director, and I don't have any keepsakes with me. I feel that with the Mo family's status, if a child really went missing, it's impossible that she couldn't be found in the same city, unless she went missing on purpose. So whether or not I'm involved, I'll treat it as if I'm not. Do you think it's good to be part of the Mo family?" Zhou Yi shrugged and asked in confusion, "Isn't it good to go from an ordinary person to the Mo family's daughter?" "It's not good to be Mo Shinru's family. Her parents haven't restricted her from interacting with Lin Jiawei, so it's not worth looking forward to. Also," Chu Xiang smiled, "I'll get everything I want. Is the Mo family good?" Zhou Yi whistled. "I've never met someone who thinks like you. It's really an eye-opener. Looks like you're really confident in your investment. The future queen of investment. There's a private restaurant in front. How about we go back after dinner?" "Sure, President Zhou, please. I've been investing too much recently, and don't have much money." "Sure, when you've earned enough, please come back. I'll lend you $5 million. Zhou Yi had originally planned to go to the racing track to have some fun, but changed his mind after a few words with Chu Xiang. He had never met someone as comfortable and curious as Chu Xiang. She had clearly been kicked out of the house, but she had straightened her back and let everyone see that she was living well. She had clearly been ridiculed by the entire internet, but she didn't care and was very carefree. She had clearly been involved with the Mo family, but she didn't even think about it. She didn't care about being involved with the Mo family at all. Also, he was clearly her boss, but she had been very relaxed from the beginning. It was as if she was very used to this kind of life. Zhou Yi felt that getting along with her was more interesting than going out with friends. There wasn't any awkward silence when they ate together. She could answer whatever he said, and her ideas always amazed him. He really looked forward to her standing at the top and making those who looked down on her slap their own faces. Zhou Yi knew that Chu Xiang wanted to start work as soon as possible, so he suggested, "Why don't you go on an interview? Isn't there a program with sharp questions? Now is the time when everyone is most curious about you. You can go on the program and have a chat to satisfy everyone's curiosity." Chu Xiang forked a piece of fruit and looked at him. "What program with sharp questions? I've never seen it before. What's it called?" I don't know either." Zhou Yi had only occasionally glanced at it. He took out his phone and searched for it. After finding it, he showed it to Chu Xiang. "It's this. According to the host, Quanzi dares to ask about anything. Isn't it quite fun?" Chu Xiang opened it and looked for a while. She smiled. "This is very suitable for me. I can even imagine the media saying, Chu Xiang directly responds to the divorce for the first time. There's also the topic of my comeback and the Mo family. I should be able to get on the hot search list. The speed at which you get on the hot search list has saved the company a lot of money. I'll get Uncle Dong to contact you later and let you appear on the next episode." Zhou Yi poured a glass of water and joked, "How about it? Do you want to tear apart the scumbag on the program?" Chu Xiang laughed. "Director Zhou, did you watch my live broadcast? It's just the effect of the program. Won't I be on the hot search list after I'm done? What's the hot search list called again? Scumbag 3 Old Witch?" Zhou Yi smiled until his eyes narrowed. "You're really something. Lin Jiawei is probably furious. It was Lin Jiawei who got that cousin of his to target you. He only knows how to do things. He's more cunning than a needle." Chu Xiang took a sip of water and looked at him. "Director Zhou and Lin Jiawei really have a conflict? What's the reason? I feel that you're not on the same level as him. With your personality, you shouldn't care about him." Zhou Yi spread his hands and said narcissistically, "Maybe I'm too handsome and outstanding, making Lin Jiawei envious and jealous. To be honest, he's quite annoying. In the future, I'll support you and wait for you to slap his face." Chu Xiang could tell that he was joking. She used water as a substitute for wine and clinked glasses with him. Why would someone of Zhou Ye's status need to be so flashy to deal with Lin Jiawei? He could just start a business war. However, she could also tell that Zhou Yi was not lying. So Lin Jiawei hated Zhou Yi so much because of envy. Chapter 42. Zhou Ye's words were definitely more effective than Uncle Dong's. Chu Xiang went on the show not long after. Extraordinary Q&A was a gold medal interview show. Every episode, a celebrity would be invited as a guest. The host did not tell the guests what questions they would ask beforehand. When the host asked a sharp question, it was all up to the guests to improvise. Therefore, guests who did not have confidence in themselves would never go on the show. This also ensured that the guests who went on the show were at least daring. Because of this, the show was good and attracted a lot of viewers. The number of views was very high. When Chu Xiang was doing her makeup backstage, the host, Zhang Nan, walked over. She held her shoulder and looked at her in the mirror. She smiled and said, "Chu, it's your first time here. Are you nervous?" Chu Xiang smiled and said, "Sister Nan is the anchor of this show. I'm not nervous when I see Sister Nan. I won't go easy on you either." Zhang Nan winked at her. "There have been a lot of rumors about you recently. Every time we come to the show, we have to ask about them, right? Otherwise, we would have come here for nothing. There are still 10 minutes to go on stage. Chu, prepare well. Don't panic. Just be steady." Chu Xiang did not panic at all. She looked at her and smiled. "Thank you, Sister Nan. I'll be relying on you to take care of me later." Zhang Nan smiled and went on stage to prepare. She said to her assistant, "Today's show is good. Chu Xiang looks daring." The assistant smiled and said, "Then you can relax, Sister Nan. You don't have to rack your brains to ask questions in circles." They were used to such things. Tao, who was here for the first time, was very nervous. She helped Chu Xiang with a final check and could not help but say, Sister Xiang. If you encounter a question you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Don't make things difficult for yourself. Chu Xiang laughed and said, when have you seen me in a difficult position? I'm definitely willing to answer. If I don't want to, no one can pry it out of my mouth. All right, let's go. It's time for me to go on stage. Tao sent Chu Xiang to the stage and stood in a corner, looking at her nervously. Not everyone would be able to get on this show. Some of the guests did not have a good grasp of the situation. If they got too much or too little, it would make people dislike them and it would be easy for them to attract criticism. Although Chu Xiang didn't come often, Tao couldn't help but worry about her. She was afraid that Zhang Nan's questions would be too sharp. At the beginning of the interview, Zhang Nan introduced Chu Xiang to the camera. Then, she smiled and chatted with Chu Xiang. A few minutes later, she brought up Chu Xiang's comeback and started to get to the point. Xiang, after your comeback, the 2 live broadcasts that you participated in were very physically taxing. You let the audience see your valiant side, which is a huge contrast to the image you gave Rao in the past. What could be the reason? Chu Xiang said with a smile. That means let go. In the past, I was an idol. Sister Nan, you also know that it's not easy to be an idol. There are many aspects that you have to pay attention to. At that time, I didn't have the guts and hadn't been in the entertainment industry for long. I was afraid that the fans wouldn't like me, so I was a little restrained. So now you've completely let go. After leaving the entertainment industry for a year, have you become more daring? That's right. To be precise, I became more daring half a month ago. Chu Xiang joked and smiled. Sometimes people are like this. They suddenly see the light at a certain moment. I feel that I'm already like this, so what's there to be afraid of? Besides, I didn't do anything wrong, so there's no need for me to be nervous. It's easier to be happy by showing the best of myself. Zhang Nan was surprised to find that Chu Xiang took the initiative to lead the topic to a sensitive topic. She took the opportunity to ask, everyone knows that you got divorced half a month ago. Is your sudden change because of that? At that time, you were hospitalized and the media reported that you committed suicide. Is that true? Chu Xiang smiled and said with a relaxed expression, I just made a stupid mistake. Suicide is actually very stupid. Those who haven't experienced it don't know. The one who will always be hurt by suicide is always yourself. What will others do? They will live the rest of their lives in high spirits. If you're not even afraid of death, why should you be afraid of living? And if you want to live happily, you should throw away the things that make you unhappy. Just get a divorce. How simple is that? Now that I think about it, when I'm immersed in pain, as long as I change my way of thinking, life will really open up. Chu Xiang did not directly ask her how she had committed suicide, or how she had been hurt. Instead, she treated it as a foolish past and used a relaxed way to express her attitude. There was nothing big to talk about. If she changed her way of thinking, the whole world would become more open. Zhang Nan nodded and smiled. You're right. If you really want to commit suicide, then so be it. Everything will cease to exist. But if you think of a way to live, there will always be times when you're happy. No one's life will be painful for decades. I admire you. Actually, there was another theory on the internet at that time. It was that you committed suicide to scare people. You wanted to threaten your ex-husband to give you a share of the assets because you did a property notarization before you got married. What do you think of this theory? Chu Xiang spread her hands and said, would someone who was willing to do a property notarization be greedy for money? Isn't it a conspiracy theory for such a person? The point is that this conspiracy theory is too stupid. Those netizens must be thinking that I want to slowly coax people to give me the assets in the future, or abolish the property notarization, right? Have they not thought about what if my husband dies, before I can coax him to give me the money? Then I won't get anything, right? It's impossible to cheat money like this. It's too easy to put yourself in danger. The news of Lin Jiawei's sudden death suddenly appeared in Zhang Nan's mind. She was stunned for a moment before she said, why did you want to do a property notarization? Did your ex-husband suggest it? Or did you suggest it to avoid suspicion? Chu Xiang chuckled and said, neither. The old man was worried that his grandson would be cheated, so he specifically requested it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be allowed to get married. Speaking of this, I believe that the majority of netizens are very curious. When you were bungee jumping, you shouted a sentence that was even trending at that time. It was "Scumbag 3, get out of here. Old Witch Lin will never see you again. Right?" Chu Xiang nodded her head calmly. Zhang Nan continued to ask, "What kind of mood did you have when you shouted out those words?" "I watched the recording. I felt that after you shouted that sentence, you seemed to have let go of something. When you landed on the speedboat, you were especially free and easy." Chu Xiang supported her head and laughed. "That's right. Shouting in the air seemed to vent the depression in my heart. After shouting, I felt much better. My mood at that time was that I wanted to go back to my own path and forget about the past. In the end, I encountered a lot of trouble. The production team asked me if I wanted to shout something. So of course, I shouted out my most urgent wish. If it could really be realized, I might not have any trouble." "Do you mean that your ex-husband's family still came to find trouble with you after you divorced?" That sentence, "Old Witch Lin," seemed to contain a lot of resentment. "I think some netizens think that it's too much to call the old man that. Are you unable to bear it? Or is it just a moment of pleasure?" Chu Xiang shrugged and said, "I don't know about others. I've always been the kind of person who doesn't offend others if they don't offend me. If I make someone unhappy, it's definitely the other party who makes me unhappy first. Of course, I'm just a celebrity now. Shouting a few words to vent is fine. I can't do anything. If that's considered too much, well then I can be even more excessive." Zhang Nan was amused by her and said, "Your marriage only lasted for a short year. Do you think it's considered a failure? Do you have anything you want to say to unmarried or married women?" Chu Xiang thought for a moment. "I think it's just to make yourself happy. It's the same whether you're unmarried or married. It's the same for both men and women. Don't be silly. If you're unhappy, don't be silly and think that the other party has some difficulties. No matter how good a person is to you on the surface, it's definitely fake if they make you unhappy. Don't be fooled by appearances. Also, don't make yourself suffer to curry favor with others. The person who makes you do that doesn't deserve your efforts, nor do the elders. I think there's a very good saying. Bad people will grow old. After they grow old, they'll become bitter and mean old people." She clearly didn't have any problems, but it seemed like everything had happened. She could completely understand the difficulty of being looked down upon, picked on, and oppressed by others. Zhang Nan's heart softened. She couldn't help but ask, "Then do you feel indignant?" Chu Xiang smiled and looked at her. "After I was enlightened, I understood a principle. If you want to do something, you have to work hard to do it. Even if you can't do it now, you'll be able to do it sooner or later. Anything that you feel indignant about can eventually become comfortable, as long as you dare to do it." Zhang Nan didn't understand her riddle. She wanted to talk more about the Lin family, but time was limited. She could only lead the conversation in another direction. "I believe that your fans will definitely hope that you'll live comfortably in the future. Everyone knows about your background. You were born in an orphanage. Recently, there's a rumor that you're very similar to the daughter of the chairman of the Mo family. It's suspected that you're involved with the Mo family. Have you been paying attention to this?" Chu Xiang shook her head and laughed. "This is pure nonsense. The world is so big. There are many people who look alike. And I don't think I'm that similar to others. It's not worth wasting time on. I like my background very much. And I also like my current life very much. Isn't it good to be pure and clean?" Zhang Nan's eyes widened when she heard her last sentence. She really dared. Wasn't she implying that Mo Shinru was dirty? Who asked her to be a mistress? Zhang Nan held back her laughter. "It seems that Xiang Xiang is really open-minded and carefree. Do you have any plans for your successful comeback this time? What do you plan to do next? Filming, releasing songs, holding concerts, appearing on variety shows, or something else?" After leaving, I realized that I really like this industry. So, I won't leave again in the future. When I'm in my 70s or 80s, maybe everyone will still see me on TV. I'll definitely watch your show then. Then, let's all wish Xiang Xiang's dreams come true. We're also very grateful to Xiang Xiang for being a guest on Extraordinary Q&A. Thank you, Xiang Xiang. Zhang Nan got up and hugged Chu Xiang before ending the show. Backstage, Chu Xiang smiled and asked, "Sister Nan, what do you think of my performance?" Zhang Nan gave her a thumbs up and said, "It's really good. This episode will definitely be a hit. I already have a feeling that the people who support you will support you to the end, and the people who hate you will hate you even more. And those confusing words of yours, haha. I think many people will go crazy because of you." Chapter 43. Chu Xiang really dared to go on the show, but what did you want from her? Thinking about it, it didn't seem like much. No one knew the inside story. At most, it added a little bit of clues to their guesses. This little bit was enough. The netizens were sure that Lin Jiawei and Mo Xinru were shameless. Old Madame Lin was also mean. They tricked Chu Xiang into giving her true feelings, caused Chu Xiang to commit suicide in despair, forced Chu Xiang to leave the marriage with nothing, and even found fault with her after Chu Xiang let go. These people are too shameless. Just because they are rich, they played a girl like a substitute. They are scum. Just think about it, and you know how old Madame Lin tortured Chu Xiang. Calling her old Madame Lin is already polite. Do evil people have to be respected when they grow old? Then release all the old people in prison. Xiang is so carefree. She just made a silly mistake once. My heart hurts so much. Scumbag old Madame Lin scram. Chu Xiang was tricked by Mo Xinru, and even became her substitute. If they were biological sisters, how disgusting. Xiang doesn't like the Mo family. We are pure and clean. How good can a family that let their daughter be a mistress be? Yes, Xiang has nothing to do with the Mo family. What rich family's daughter? Xiang has never worshipped money. The netizens were furious just by imagining things. Their hatred for Lin Jiawei and the rest rose to the top. They weren't rich people anymore. They all thought that Chu Xiang was beautiful alone and told Mo Xinru and Lin Jiawei to scram as far as possible. Actually, they guessed pretty much right. What could Chu Xiang's grievances be? Wasn't it just something that everyone could guess? Life was far more terrible than Rao Nan imagined. The suffering that outsiders guessed was not even 1/10 of the original owners. This kind of mystifying interview was even more heartbreaking than Chu Xiang's crying. The things that they guessed were often more righteous. Naturally, they hated the Lin and Mo families more. The words pure and innocent became a new term on the internet. Every time it was mentioned, someone would mention Mo Xinru. The people in Mo Xinru's circle did not really care about others, but no one in that circle had ever been ridiculed on such a large scale. Lin Jiawei and Mo Xinru had really become the laughingstock of the circle. Even old Madame Lin was the laughingstock. Now that the netizens kept saying that she was innocent, Mo Xinru felt like her face had been ripped to the ground and stepped on. Previously, when someone had guessed that Chu Xiang was related to the Mo family, she had felt quite uncomfortable. But now that she saw Chu Xiang despising the Mo family in the interview, she felt deeply humiliated. Zhu Yujie would be complacent if she had a little relationship with the Mo family. Chu Xiang had such a good opportunity to blackmail them, but she didn't use it on them. Instead, she broke the rumor herself. It was as if he thought he had obtained a treasure, but in the end the other party didn't even look at it and scoffed at it. Mo Xinru felt that the entire Mo family had been humiliated by Chu Xiang. Mo Xinru's mother also approached her unhappily. "What are you doing? This matter is too ugly. You're just a joke." Mo Xinru's face darkened. "Jiawei will handle everything well. I didn't expect this to happen either. This woman is too difficult to deal with. Now that she's in Zhou Ye's company, she thinks that she has someone to back her up. She doesn't know what's good for her." Mo Xinru's mother looked at her. "Don't tell me you still have feelings for Zhou Yi?" "Mom, what are you talking about? Jiawei and I are a couple." Mo Xinru frowned, her face full of dissatisfaction. Mo Xinru's mother said, "Quickly get rid of this Chu Xiang. Don't let others see you as a joke. The family is facing internal and external problems now. We can't afford to mess around. You must get along well with Jiawei, and let him cooperate with the Mo Corporation." Mo Xinru said impatiently, "I know. Don't worry. Jiawei's side is fine. Emo Shinru's mother sighed and persuaded her. You've grown up. You should know what to do and what not to do. You don't have the right to be willful anymore. Jiawei treats you well, so you have to treat Jiawei wholeheartedly. Don't think about anyone else. I didn't think about it in the first place. Alright, I'll move to Jiawei's place. Don't worry. Emo Shinru didn't want to listen to her. She picked up her bag and went to her and Lin Jiawei's place. She couldn't help but feel annoyed. Zhou Yi was Xing Yao's boss. He would definitely pay attention to Chu Xiang's matters. Wouldn't he have seen the netizens scolding her? What would Zhou Yi think of her? This made her feel worse than the netizens scolding her for being unchaste. Chu Xiang. It was all Chu Xiang's fault. Emo Shinru spent double the price to hire the Internet Water Army. She only gave them one order: defame Chu Xiang. Defame Chu Xiang as much as possible. If they could make Chu Xiang leave the entertainment industry, she would pay them 10 times the price. The Internet Water Army she hired was overjoyed. Chu Xiang used to be a top idol. She had as many anti-fans as she did fans. They didn't even need to fabricate material to defame Chu Xiang. They just needed to use the anti-fans material to post. It was too easy to earn money. Very quickly, voices appeared on the internet to defame Chu Xiang. President Lin and Sister Mo didn't even say anything. It's all Chu Xiang's fault. How can you believe this liar's words? Isn't she too stupid? She's so pathetic. She can only rely on acting pitiful to gain attention. She's so lame. Everyone, come and see how Chu Xiang is blowing her own trumpet. She thinks it's a waste of time to pay attention to the Mo family. I think she's trying to clarify things because she knows she has nothing to do with the Mo family. Otherwise, she'll lose her face if the Mo family clarifies things. She doesn't want to be a rich girl. She's a pure white lotus who treats money like dirt. She even did a property notarization before marriage. She's so awesome. I wonder how much money she can earn in the future. Will she still be able to say such things when she's begging? The Internet Water Army set the pace. Chu Xiang's anti-fans immediately joined in. They invaded Chu Xiang's topic square. They posted all kinds of photoshopped pictures and fake material, making the atmosphere foul. Chu Xiang's fans didn't want to be outdone. They retorted with reason and evidence. Many passers-by also spoke up for Chu Xiang. The Internet Water Army took the money. With the temptation of 10 times the price, they naturally worked hard. They didn't care whether it was to defame Chu Xiang or not. These comments wouldn't affect a broad-minded person, but they could affect her career. Just like when Zhu Yujie was scolded, the advertisers changed their target. If Chu Xiang's image became negative, she wouldn't be able to get a new job. Xing Yao's public relations department was called back to the company to work overtime to deal with the large-scale actions of the anti-fans. They contacted a few of Chu Xiang's big fans and asked them to quiet down and not come down for the time being. Now only the Internet Water Army and anti-fans were left. The passers-by naturally didn't have much fighting power. It seemed that Chu Xiang had become the anti-fans of the entire internet. The problem was that the anti-fans were getting worse, but there was no evidence. The netizens weren't stupid. Chu Xiang had been defamed so many times. How could she be so easily influenced? If the anti-fans went too far, it would easily cause a backlash. Even some passers-by who didn't like Chu Xiang couldn't stand it. Did she commit murder, arson, or commit crimes? Was there something wrong with her? Mo Shinru didn't understand the tricks of the entertainment industry. When she saw that the internet was full of voices scolding Chu Xiang, she finally felt a little better. She felt that she had taken the right step. Now even if Zhou Yi paid attention to this matter, he would only see Chu Xiang's bad character. He wouldn't see her. Mo Shinru was in a good mood. Naturally, she was pleasant to Lin Jiawei. Absence makes the heart grow fonder of newlyweds. They spent a sweet night together and completely forgot about Chu Xiang. She was just a character. If she dared to cause trouble for them, she naturally had to die. Even old Madame Lin had a good night's sleep after hearing the comments of the netizens read by the servants. She felt very relieved. But in just one night, the situation was completely reversed. The netizens felt that these anti-fans were treating them like fools. They were spreading rumors about Chu Xiang everywhere. They really thought that they would believe it. Asking for a hammer was the way to go. The netizens showed their abilities and began to dig deeper into this big melon. There were also those who couldn't stand it and spontaneously provided information. Before dawn, many real incidents appeared. I'm in the same district as Chu Xiang. My friend and I saw Scumbag Lin's assistant delivering a check to Chu Xiang. He told Chu Xiang to be careful with her words and actions. Otherwise, he wouldn't let her off. Chu Xiang splashed a glass of water on it, and the entire check was soaked. She even called Scumbag Lin and scolded him. She even said that she would reward Scumbag Lin with 5 million yuan, and told him to scram as far as he could. I'm a nurse at the hospital where Chu Xiang went to see a doctor. Chu Xiang almost committed suicide. She was saved by a close shave. It was very serious. It definitely wasn't a threat. Scumbag Lin's lawyer threatened Chu Xiang in the ward. He told Chu Xiang to obediently sign the divorce agreement and leave with nothing. Otherwise, she wouldn't end well. I was also there when Chu Xiang bought medicine at the Chinese medicine shop. I heard that she and her assistant wanted to buy beauty herbs to improve her skin and physique. Didn't you notice that her skin has improved? I saw Chu Xiang shopping with Old Lady Lin. Old Lady Lin clearly has a servant, but she insisted that Chu Xiang carry a big bag and asked Chu Xiang to help her try on clothes and shoes. She was so high and mighty. Those who didn't know better would think that Chu Xiang was her servant. I'm Mo Xinru's classmate. Lin Jiawei loves Mo Xinru wholeheartedly. Mo Xinru doesn't like Lin Jiawei at all. She just uses Lin Jiawei as a spare tire. I heard that she got a foreign boyfriend as soon as she went abroad. After they broke up, she came back to snatch Lin Jiawei. How disgusting. I used to be a servant for the Lin family. Now that I'm back in my hometown, I'm not afraid. Old Lady Lin even asked Chu Xiang to take care of her flowers, cook, give her massages, read the newspaper, and so on. There were so many things to do, and she was so picky. Chu Xiang didn't talk much in the Lin family. She didn't even smile. When I left, she was even suffering from depression. Xiang was depressed before? She even tried to commit suicide. Now she's being slandered again. She's just a girl who wants to be a good actress. She's only 24 years old. Who's so malicious towards her? Can they live with their conscience? Who else can it be? I know someone who's in the Internet Water Army. Last night, one of his peers received a big order. He offered 10 times the price to get Chu Xiang to leave the industry. Guess who it is? So what if they're rich? I'm so angry. Where are they going to find Internet Water Army? We'll find one too. We'll raise money and hire Internet Water Army to scold them to death. Not only did all kinds of revelations appear on the internet, but there were also all kinds of pictures and evidence. Chu Xiang's fans finally took the stage and started to fight for Chu Xiang righteously. With such a shocking turn of events, the Internet Water Army was utterly defeated. Old Lady Lin fainted from anger when she woke up. Mo Xinru was stunned as she watched her facts being exposed one by one. The things that the netizens had only speculated about were all confirmed. She became the target of public criticism. She even helped Chu Xiang gain a lot of passers-by fans. She had completely done all the work for Chu Xiang. Chapter 44. Hashtag my heart aches for Chu Xiang hashtag was trending. Almost all the Xiang fans were posting 9 pictures to explain how the haters slandered and spread rumors about Chu Xiang. Every picture had a detailed illustration. It was orderly and not messy at all. Xiang fans felt sorry for Chu Xiang. They hoped that everyone would keep their eyes open and not be led astray by the haters. Thanks to Mo Xinru, the evidence left behind by the Internet Water Army, and the haters were everywhere. Xiang fans didn't need too many of them. Everyone knew that Chu Xiang was maliciously spread rumors about her. None of the negative information was true. There were also many passers-by who spoke up for Chu Xiang. After eating so many melons, Chu Xiang was really pitiful. Chu Xiang's show was so good that everyone's impression of her improved greatly. Naturally, they were willing to help her. Bullying ordinary capitalists had always been the most disgusting thing. So another topic quickly became trending. Hashtag how arrogant can the rich and powerful be hashtag. Everyone was no longer talking about Chu Xiang. Instead, They were talking about the oppression and humiliation that everyone had suffered. Everyone had more or less experienced such things. Even if they hadn't experienced it themselves, they had heard of their relatives and friends being bullied. Every message was filled with sincerity, which was a ghastly sight to behold. In reality, there were actually so many people who had experienced being bullied. What was wrong with this society? The topic gradually became the conflict between the common people and the rich officials. Chu Xiang had successfully escaped from this whirlpool, but the Lin family and the Mo family were stuck in it and couldn't break free. Many of the things that people mentioned had been in the past for a long time. The person who had been violent had long disappeared. Now, with the shift of public opinion, when everyone saw Lin Jiawei, old Madam Lin, and Mo Xinru, it was as if they saw the person who had bullied them in front of the curtain. Their hidden anger immediately found an outlet to vent. Lin Jiawei and the rest became the target of public criticism. The evidence of them bullying Chu Xiang was mentioned countless times. Every time it proved their inferior character. As usual, Lin Jiawei spent money to get people to delete the comments. This move angered the netizens, and once again proved that rich people really could do whatever they wanted. They were so arrogant that they didn't even allow others to speak. The action of deleting the comment caused a huge backlash. After #how arrogant can the rich and powerful be # was removed, it was once again pushed to the top of the hot search list. Old Madam Lin was already sick from anger. Her high blood pressure was skyrocketing. She couldn't eat anything while lying on the bed, so she could only be given an 4 drip. It was not that this kind of public opinion could affect the Lin family much. The Lin family was not in the entertainment industry. As long as it did not affect the Lin family, it did not matter how many people were involved. But old Madam Lin had never been treated like this in her entire life. If she was used to being strong, her son and daughter-in-law would listen to her. Her grandson would be filial to her. And her granddaughter-in-law would be submissive to her. Who wouldn't be envious of her? Who in their old age could live as comfortably as she did? She had enjoyed this feeling of superiority for half her life. Now that she had become old witch Lin overnight, her ex-granddaughter-in-law's resistance was like a slap to her face. And the netizens' words were even more unbearable. When had she ever suffered such great humiliation in all her decades of life? Old Madam Lin could not take it at all. She was too ashamed to go out and face anyone. She did not even pick up the phone. She was so angry that she had nowhere to vent her anger. In the end, she fell sick from anger. Lin Jiawei had never cared about Chu Xiang. He only thought that she was fooling around. Occasionally, he would want to teach her a lesson, but when he thought of it, he would just instruct. He did not take it seriously. Who knew that this time, his grandma would fall sick from anger? Mo Xinru also cried at home once. This was something he could not tolerate. Chu Xiang was with Zhou Yi, and there were many things that he could not interfere with directly. He simply called Zhou Yi's number. Zhou Yi, I'm Lin Jiawei. Zhou Yi was playing games in his office. He was a little surprised to receive the call. He turned on the speaker and played games while saying, "Oh, it's Boss Lin. We don't seem to have any opportunities to work together. What's the matter, Boss Lin?" Lin Jiawei walked to the floor-to-ceiling window and looked outside. He said in a deep voice, "Zhou Yi, you and I both know why you signed Chu Xiang. There's no need to make things so ugly. We can use real swords and guns in the business world. It's too ugly to make a move." Zhou Yi stared at the screen and pressed the controller furiously. He laughed and said, "Make a move? Boss Lin, aren't you doing it for yourself? You put someone on the show to cause trouble for Chu Xiang, paid the internet water army to slander Chu Xiang, deleted comments and posts, and even gave Chu Xiang a check. Your moves are very impressive. One look and I can tell that you're experienced because you've done it often. I can't do it. If you want me to make a move, I don't even know how to do it. If I want to make a move, I'll make it big. That's the best way to do it." Lin Jiawei listened to the intense sounds of the game, and his face turned gloomy. He felt that Zhou Yi was looking down on him and said coldly, "Zhou Yi, must you support Chu Xiang?" "Of course. Chu Xiang is my treasure. In the future, she will definitely become a money tree for my company. I have to thank you, Boss Lin." If you didn't throw away the watermelon and pick up the sesame, how could I have found such a treasure? Zhou Yi chuckled as he spoke. It was obvious that Lin Jiawei's expression was ugly. Lin Jiawei raised his voice and reprimanded. You're comparing Ru to a sesame? Chu Xiang doesn't deserve to be compared to Ru. Hey, Boss Lin, you called to quarrel with me? Why are you so free? You didn't graduate from kindergarten? I'm busy and don't have time to listen to your nonsense. You hold your sesame and go to the side. Don't waste my time. Boss Zhou, you were looking for me. Chu Xiang saw that the door wasn't closed. She knocked 3 times before entering the office. Lin Jiawei was stunned when he heard Chu Xiang's voice. Then he was hung up. Before he heard the busy tone, he heard the sound of the game's victory. It seemed to be mocking him. Lin Jiawei angrily threw his phone on the table and took a deep breath to calm down. Who knew that when he turned around, he would see Mo Xinru at the door of the break room. Mo Xinru questioned him with a cold face. You called Zhou Yi? You can't handle Chu Xiang, so you let him handle it? Lin Jiawei narrowed his eyes. What do you mean? Chu Xiang is in his company. Isn't it normal for her to greet him? But you even now, are you still so concerned about Zhou Yi? Stop talking nonsense. Is Chu Xiang worth you looking for Zhou Yi? Even if you don't find it embarrassing, I find it embarrassing. Lin Jiawei looked at her suspiciously. Worth it? In your eyes, only important matters are worthy of Zhou Yi, right? Mo Xinru, in your heart, I'll never be as good as Zhou Yi, right? When you asked me to deal with Chu Xiang, why didn't you say that it wasn't worth my trouble at all? Mo Xinru said righteously. You were the one who provoked Chu Xiang. Lin Jiawei, you said that you would always protect me from any harm. Now that all of this is because of you, shouldn't you be the one to deal with it? Lin Jiawei sat back in his office chair and didn't look at her anymore. He said coldly, I don't want to quarrel with you. You can go back first. Let's calm down. Mo Xinru was so angry that she laughed. She walked up to him and said angrily, You're chasing me away now? What do you mean? Are you throwing a tantrum at me? Lin Jiawei flipped open the document with a sullen face and said coldly, I think you should seriously consider who you'll be living with in the future. I don't want to hear Zhou Ye's name coming out of your mouth again. You're really ridiculous. Mo Xinru felt guilty and didn't want to stay any longer. She grabbed her bag and turned to leave. At the same time, she was extremely angry. Lin Jiawei knew that she liked Zhou Yi in the past. At that time, Lin Jiawei was as obedient as he could be in front of her, unlike now. Sure enough, his attitude changed after he got her. He was still a jerk. Lin Jiawei threw away his pen in annoyance. Thinking of Mo Xinru's infatuation with Zhou Yi in the past, he held his breath. Mo Xinru's reaction just now was like a curse. It made him feel that he could never win over Zhou Yi and win Mo Xinru's heart. He thought of Chu Xiang's voice on the phone again. Why did Chu Xiang go to Zhou Ye's office? Even though Lin Jiawei knew that it was normal for a subordinate to go to the boss's office to talk about business, he couldn't help but think about it. However, he could not help but wonder if there was a reason why Zhou Yi had signed Chu Xiangli. Was there a reason why Chu Xiang and Zhou Yi were laughing so happily during dinner? Zhou Yi was clearly playing games in the office. Did Chu Xiang really go in to talk about business? Why did Chu Xiang not wait for Zhou Yi to call her in and directly enter the office? Was their relationship to the point where she could enter and leave as she pleased? Wasn't that the same as Mo Xinru coming to his office? Zhou Yi, Zhou Yi, Zhou Yi again. His beloved had been infatuated with Zhou Yi for many years and still quarreled with him because of Zhou Yi. His ex-wife also had an unclear relationship with Zhou Yi. Why were all these women attracted to Zhou Yi? Lin Jiawei grabbed his car keys and went racing on the mountain road to vent his frustrations. He remembered that Zhou Yi liked racing. Back then, Mo Xinru even went to the racetrack to cheer for Zhou Yi. In order to let Mo Xinru see him, he also learned how to race. He was even bolder and went racing on the mountain road. However, Mo Xinru never came to see him. He drove to the beach alone and suddenly felt that it was very boring. What was he doing? How good was his life in the past year? Every time he came home, he would see his wife's eyes filled with love. If he treated Chu Xiang a little better, Chu Xiang would smile especially sweetly. He noticed that his grandmother and mother were a little harsh on Chu Xiang. However, he casually comforted her and Chu Xiang would bear with it and never bother him with these things. He had a career, a lovely wife and a warm family. However, he gave up on these things in order to be with Mo Shinru. What was the result? Now the entire internet was laughing at him. His grandmother was sick, and Mo Shinru still had feelings for Zhou Yi. His life was a mess. He suddenly felt tired. He had given so much but not received any response from Mo Shinru. He had given so much unilaterally. Was it still not enough? Lin Jiawei's mind was blank. He did not know what he was thinking. He actually called Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang had only blocked Lin Jiawei's private number. She did not have his work number. When she saw the call, she picked it up. At the same time, she picked up the controller and said to Zhou Yi, "You went easy on me just now? Then let's play another round. Let's see if you can win." She picked up the phone. "Hello, who is this?" Lin Jiawei was silent for a moment. Then he said softly, Xiang, come back to me. Let's be like before, okay?" The game started. Chu Xiang did not hear clearly and asked again, "Who is this?" Lin Jiawei frowned and said, Xiang, don't be angry with me. Come back to me. We'll stay in the villa that we used to live in. There's no grandmother or anyone else. It's just the two of us, okay?" This time, Chu Xiang heard him clearly. She sneered. "Lin Jiawei? Are you crazy? You want me to be your mistress after divorcing me? Get lost. Do you really think you're in high demand? Go back and take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Even if you want to be my gigolo, I don't care." Chapter 45. Chu Xiang snapped. Zhou Yi leaned back on the sofa and laughed. "Lin Jiawei wants you to be his mistress? What is he thinking? What a brain." Chu Xiang sneered. "He's looking down on me. Now that his goddess is back, I can only make room for her. But of course his goddess won't spoil him. Didn't he think of me then? I guess in his heart, someone like me is only fit to be his mistress. In his eyes, I don't have to do anything but enjoy money and material things. I should be grateful that his grandmother doesn't make things difficult for me." Zhou Yi tilted his head and looked at her. "You really know him well." Chu Xiang shrugged. "I can't help it. After all, he's the scum that I met before. Don't spoil the mood. Are you still playing? Did you ask me to come over just to play games with you?" Zhou Yi picked up the game controller and pressed the start button. He laughed and said, "No, there's a dinner party later. I heard them mention that one of their characters fell and disfigured. They're looking for someone now. Come with me for a meal and see if it works out. This show is almost done filming. If it works out, it will be aired earlier than your new show." Chu Xiang's eyes lit up. "Then you and I know who they are and what their personalities are like. I'll take the right medicine later." Zhou Yi laughed and said, "Why would I need you to take the medicine? You can just sit there. Can't I even do that?" He glanced at her and continued playing the game. "When Lin Jiawei called you just now, were you even a little tempted?" Chu Xiang looked at him in disbelief. What's there to be tempted about? Was she tempted to be his canary? Do you think that's possible? Even if he treats me like his great-grandmother now, I wouldn't want to go. Zhou Yi nodded slowly. That's true. You're someone who wants to invest and earn big money. Who knows, you might be able to find a gigolo anywhere. Lin Jiawei is really interesting. When you came in, I just hung up on him. Do you know why he called? He didn't want me to protect you. I thought he wanted to make a move on you. I didn't expect him to do it like this. Chu Xiang showed a mocking smile. Maybe he was provoked by something. He just wants to raise a cat or a dog. When he wants to play with it, he will play with it. When he is impatient, he will hit it as hard as he can. A few of his friends are like that. There's even someone who changes girlfriends like changing clothes. Internet streamers and celebrities, each one is prettier than the other. Isn't that what he meant? Zhou Yi looked at her again and said curiously, I realize that you haven't been a rich madam for nothing this year. You really understand this circle very well. But I'm different from them. You see, I never go to those places to play. I'd rather stay at home and play games. Oh. Chu Xiang was focused on the game and suddenly laughed. You lost. How about it? Are you going easy on me this time? Zhou Yi looked at the screen speechlessly and changed to another game. Let's try this again. I don't believe that I can't beat you. Chu Xiang smiled but didn't say anything. The first thing she was interested in after transmigrating to the modern world was playing games. If he were to compete with her in this game, she could beat him until he doubted his life. Zhou Yi got serious and played with Chu Xiang. In the end, he lost several rounds. He looked at the screen and wiped his face. He wondered if he was still asleep. How could Chu Xiang be so good at games? She must have specially practiced it, right? He looked at his watch and threw away the controller. Entertainment time is over. Let's talk about work. Otherwise, we won't be able to achieve the best results. Chu Xiang looked at him with a faint smile but didn't expose him. Who was the person who gave her so much face just now? Zhou Yi went to the bar counter and made 2 cups of coffee. He said to Chu Xiang, "This is something I just learned. It smells good, right? Try it and see how it tastes." Chu Xiang took a sip and savored it carefully. She nodded and smiled. "It's very good." She looked at the things in the bar counter and couldn't help but laugh. CEO Zhou has a wide range of interests and hobbies. Why do you even have an air fryer? Are you frying fries here? Zhou Yi looked at the air fryer beside his hand and plugged it in. Yes. Do you see the screen over there? Sometimes I will watch films on the projector. If there's no food, how can there be an atmosphere? There's an ice cream machine, a juicer and a popcorn machine here. Do you want to try them? Chu Xiang leaned on the bar counter and drank coffee. No, let's talk about the movie we are going to talk about later. I'm more interested in this. All right, sit here. Zhou Yi brought Chu Xiang to the sofa, and then called Uncle Dong over via the internal line. He asked him to introduce the movie to Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang looked at Zhou Yi. Since he asked Uncle Dong, why didn't he just ask her to look for him? Indeed, he called her here to play games, right? For the sake of the new movie, she would give in to him next time. Uncle Dong attached great importance to this opportunity and explained it to Chu Xiang in detail. He also specially told her about the personalities and hobbies of the people at the dinner party. He told her not to offend anyone. It would be even better if she could cater to their interests. Zhou Yi held the coffee cup and put his arm on the back of the sofa. He found that Chu Xiang's attitude towards work was much more serious than before. It seemed that she had suddenly become focused. Men who were focused on work were charming. In fact, women were also charming. Especially Chu Xiang, who had just come out of the acting class, was still wearing the performance report costume. She was dressed in a professional suit. He couldn't help but think that if Chu Xiang sat in his office chair and listened to Uncle Dong's words, she would be like a female CEO, full of charm. Zhou Yi took a sip of coffee to hide the smile on his face. His gaze fell on Chu Xiang's phone and turned cold. Lin Jiawei really didn't know what was good for him. He provoked him again and again. He was tired of living. Chu Xiang and Uncle Dong were talking about taking up roles. Zhou Ye's mind had already turned to the business of the Lin Group. Xingyao Entertainment was only one of the companies under the Zhou Group. Maybe he should go to other branches when he had time. Otherwise, Lin Jiawei would forget that he was the heir of the Zhou Group. At dinner time, Zhou Yi took Chu Xiang to dinner. There were producers, investors, directors, as well as the male and female leads. There were 12 people sitting at the table. Everyone was a little surprised to see Zhou Yi bring Chu Xiang over, but they didn't show it on their faces. They greeted each other cheerfully and considered to be acquaintances. Of course, they all understood Zhou Ye's meaning. They quietly observed Chu Xiang and passed the topic to her to see how she would respond. Chu Xiang was very familiar with this kind of occasion. She didn't need Zhou Yi to take care of her at all. She chatted with everyone in a few sentences and chatted happily. She could handle anything that others said. Zhou Yi sat beside her with a glass of wine. Occasionally he would say a few words. Seeing that she responded with ease, he actually felt that she was useless. Shouldn't he be the one talking cheerfully while she smiled at the side? The male and female leads looked at each other. They both felt that Chu Xiang's participation in the cast was set in stone. The male lead was fine, but the female lead felt a sense of crisis in her heart. The one in trouble was the third female lead. She didn't have many scenes. Next, the crew would mainly film the third female lead's scenes. But if Zhou Yi supported Chu Xiang, would this kind of person who brought money into the cast have more scenes? By then, would her scenes as the first female lead still be enough? However, she wouldn't show anything. Everyone present was a big shot. She couldn't afford to offend any of them. Seeing that Chu Xiang and Zhou Yi were familiar with each other, he was also someone she couldn't afford to offend. Everyone was almost done chatting. The director poured a glass of wine for Zhou Yi and said gratefully, "Thank you for your investment, Director Zhou. It helped our crew solve the problem. Let me toast to Director Zhou. Chu is with me. Don't worry. I promised to film her well." Zhou Yi smiled and clinked glasses with him. "Director Li, you're too serious. Your crew is so outstanding. Everyone is fighting to invest. It's just that I found out about it first. I'm optimistic about your show. If you have any needs in the future, you can ask me." He glanced at Chu Xiang and said, "Chu Xiang has been taking acting lessons during this period. Her acting is not bad. She won't delay Director Li's show. Director Li, don't worry. When the time comes, I hope that Director Li can help to polish her. Actors still need to be polished by good directors, right? Director Zhou is right. Jade can't be unpolished. Chu is a good piece of jade. I will definitely keep an eye on her and film her well." Director Li drank a glass of wine. He was a little drunk, but he was also very happy. Chu Xiang's acting was not bad. No one would believe that even if he lied to the fans. However, Zhou Yi had indeed invested a large sum of money. It was fine if she was just a third female lead. At least her face was really good. She was quite suitable for the character. At the dinner party, everyone praised Chu Xiang a little for Zhou Yi's sake. However, of course, their sincerity and hypocrisy could not fool Chu Xiang. She did not care. She just needed an opportunity. Now that she had this opportunity to act, it would depend on her ability to blind the eyes of the audience. And she had always been confident in her own ability. After eating and drinking to their heart's content, Zhou Yi called the chauffeur to drive over and send Chu Xiang home first. He drank a cup of hangover soup and tilted his head to look at Chu Xiang with a smile. "You really gave me a big surprise today. I suspect that even if I didn't go with you, you would still be able to get this role. Where did you learn to be so smooth? Aren't some things innate?" Chu Xiang smiled and leaned against the car window to look out. She said casually, "Director Zhou only got this role because of you. However, in the future, every role I take will definitely be based on my own acting skills." These words sounded stubborn, but it depended on the tone used. Chu Xiang said it so calmly, completely stating the facts. Zhou Yi could even hear the casual and powerful tone in her words. Only those who were truly confident and powerful could be so casual. It was the confidence that nothing could be done, and everything could be solved. Zhou Yi chuckled. "Chu Xiang, how many more surprises can you give me? I feel like you're that treasure girl on the internet. I never know where your bottom line is. It's like you're a treasure that can never be dug out. There are surprises everywhere." Chu Xiang laughed and said, "Director Zhou, how many times have you flattered me? Did you see the look in the female lead's eyes just now? You've attracted a lot of hatred for me. They probably have a headache and want to reduce my scenes." Zhou Yi tapped his fingers on his knee and said casually, "I believe you. You're almost the queen of face slapping now. Those who look down on you usually get slapped in the face swollen. I'm looking forward to your performance in the crew. I'm also looking forward to it. I can finally act." Chu Xiang looked at the night sky outside the window and smiled. She had been waiting for a long time. Acting as another person would definitely be very interesting. Moreover, the third female lead in this movie was a demon cultivator. Did she still need to act? She could just act as herself. When the time came, who would say that her acting skills were bad? That person would definitely be blind. Zhou Yi sent Chu Xiang to her apartment building. The entertainment reporters who were waiting outside the apartment area were so excited that they kept pressing their shutters. This time they would get big news. Entering a lady's room at night. Chapter 46. That night, Uncle Dong was woken up from his sleep. Chu Xiang was involved in a scandal. Uncle Dong went online to take a look. It was not a hot search yet, but it would be seen soon. There were already many verified accounts and entertainment accounts reposting it. In the photo, the car window was half open. He could see that Chu Xiang was leaning against the car window. On the other side, he could only see that it was a young man wearing expensive clothes. Most importantly, the car was also a luxury car. No matter how famous Chu Xiang was, she was just a has-been celebrity who had just made a comeback. Why was she being sent home in a luxury car? When a female celebrity was involved in this kind of thing, it made people's imagination run wild. Uncle Dong stared at the car carefully, and did not know whether to laugh or cry. Wasn't that the car that CEO Zhou used when he went out for work? Which reporter was so stupid? He did not even know to ask around and ask for a public relations fee. He looked at the watermark on the photo and knew that this reporter had just emerged, and was anxious to become famous. If it was an old fox, he would have already asked for a public relations fee in private. After all, the purpose was not to expose the news, but to make money. Chu Xiang's anti-fans were everywhere. They were high when they caught these photos. What about me? Dogs can't change their habits. Chu Xiang is a gold digger. She doesn't worship this and that. No wonder Chu Xiang did not care about the Mo family in the interview. Look at this car. Could it be that her sugar daddy is richer than the Mo family? I can't take it anymore. Chu Xiang, Chu Xiang, Chu Xiang, can't you report some national affairs? Isn't she just a has-been celebrity? She was a top celebrity in the past. Her fans have already left her. Why is she still coming out now? What can a few photos prove? Can't Xiang Xiang have friends? Did you take a photo of someone entering Xiang Xiang's room? What time did you take the photo? Just look at the photo. Isn't it just a simple drive home? You don't even allow a free ride? Io, the Xiang fans have come out to brainwash people again. Yes, 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 you steamed dumplings are peerless white lotuses. Being in a car with a man in the middle of the night is definitely pure. Use your brains to think. Would a normal person have the guts to go against the Lin and Mo families in front of the media? She even dared to call Lin Jiawei's grandmother an old witch. If she didn't have a backer, she would have been killed long ago. Find out who owns Xingyao. Let's see if Lin Jiawei has the ability to kill one of them. The boss can't be a backer? Why are your thoughts so dirty? Do you usually do this kind of thing? Obscene people see obscenity, bah. Ha ha ha, everyone, come and take a look at Chu Xiang's retarded fans. They believe everything about Chu Xiang XSL. This time, no one participated in the battle between the Xiang fans and the anti-fans. The anti-fans originally thought that they would win the battle, but they didn't expect the Xiang fans to be so strong. They were evenly matched with a large group of anti-fans and didn't fall behind at all. Anyway, the Xiang fans were biting on the truth and the anti-fans couldn't do anything. Could they still see Chu Xiang's house through those photos? Uncle Dong gave Chu Xiang a call and told her not to casually respond to the media, in case someone with ulterior motives took advantage of her. Chu Xiang laughed and said, "Now I really know what it means to be a top celebrity. It means that no matter when, maybe when I'm 70 or 80 years old, there will still be people watching me. Look at how Chu Xiang was in the past and how she is now. She's really living off her past." Uncle Dong also laughed and said, "The entertainment circle is like this. Especially when your development experience is so special. It's inevitable that you will be criticized. And whether you leave the entertainment circle or not, you will still have anti-fans. It's just that you will have more anti-fans in the entertainment circle." Chu Xiang didn't care at all. If there are, then there are. When people become popular, there will be a lot of problems. My recent comeback popularity is still okay. I can appear in the public eye without any works. There's no way I can disappear even if I want to. There's no need to care about these groundless accusations. Just respond to a single career. Later, I will also inform Director Zhou. This is the second time he has been photographed with you. Go to the production team tomorrow and film well. Be more diligent and cherish this opportunity. This will be your first official work after your comeback. You must pay attention to it. If there are any problems, communicate with me immediately. Uncle Dong was a little worried and gave a lot of advice. Chu Xiang laughed. I know better than anyone what I want. Uncle Dong, don't worry. I can't always rely on gossip to be on the hot search. In the future, my works will also be on the hot search. Okay, then rest early. I will ask the PR department to make a statement. Uncle Dong hung up and called the PR department. There were people on duty at night. He directly asked the copywriter to write a simple statement. Uncle Dong remembered to give Zhou Yi a call and even joked, "Director Zhou, isn't this too much of a coincidence?" Both times they were photographed. Zhou Yi heard that he wanted to make a statement and hurriedly said, "It's not appropriate for you to respond like this. This is setting up a flag. If Chu Xiang has a boyfriend in the future, the anti-fans will definitely use this statement to defame her. You can just make it simple and say that this matter is not true." Uncle Dong was stunned. But Chu Xiang told me that she doesn't plan to find a boyfriend. At least, she doesn't plan to find one before she becomes famous in the next few years. It's not a problem to make a statement like this. If there are any scandals in the future, she can respond like this. After a few years, if she has a boyfriend again, won't it be over? No one will care. Chu Xiang doesn't plan to date? And Uncle Dong was a little confused. Was this the main point? Why was the boss so concerned about whether Chu Xiang found a boyfriend? Zhou Yi said, "Just follow my statement. Anyway, the innocent will be innocent. She will soon enter the production team to film. This kind of news won't last long." Okay, then I will ask the copywriter to change it. Before Uncle Dong hung up the phone, he asked hesitantly, "Director Zhou, don't tell me you have some thoughts about Chu?" Zhou Yi laughed. "Uncle Dong, do you think it's not possible?" "Really?" Uncle Dong was stunned. "Director Zhou, Chuko is really a good child. She really wants to rush to the top of the entertainment industry this time. Don't ruin her." Zhou Yi was speechless. "How am I a ruin? Who have I ruined? What are you worried about?" "No, what kind of life is Chu living in the Lin family? Almost everyone has come out. She just escaped the tiger's den. How can she enter the wolf's den? Go away. Your house is the wolf's den. Forget it, you don't have to worry about this. Do you think I'm that Lin? I'm hanging up. Hurry up and deal with the matter on the internet. Chu Xiang's popularity is enough. It's easy for people to dislike her because of her private matters. Take down today's hot search and keep a low profile." Understood. Uncle Dong hung up. Thinking of Zhou Ye's last words, he felt that Zhou Yi seemed to be quite concerned about Chu Xiang. This person had always been reliable, but he didn't know if he was reliable in a relationship. Uncle Dong thought about it and still felt uneasy. He got someone to release a statement according to Zhou Ye's wishes, and then gave Chu Xiang a call. Chu Xiang was in the middle of a medicinal bath. She asked curiously, "Uncle Dong? Is there anything else?" It was rare for Uncle Dong to stutter for a while. He then cleared his throat and said, Chu, I was talking to Mr. Zhou just now. I feel that he seems to be interested in you. Have you noticed it?" Chu Xiang was slightly stunned and thought carefully. "I didn't notice. But so what if he is interested in me?" Uncle Dong choked and said, "Then what about you? Didn't you just get divorced? Director Zhou's status is higher than Lin Jiawei's. Director Zhou's parents are also not low. His relatives are also officials in B City. If you are interested in him, you should consider these aspects in advance. You are my artist. I don't want you to experience any more bad things." Chu Xiang understood and smiled. "Uncle Dong, are you worried about this?" "Then let me tell you. I will never get married in this lifetime. My ultimate goal is to reach the top of the entertainment industry. No one can shake me. As for Director Zhou, well, he is quite interesting. His family has nothing to do with me. Don't worry about it." "Hey, why are the two of you saying the same thing? You both asked me not to worry." "Alright, then think about it yourself. The company's official Weibo just released a statement. You should repost it and make a statement. Sleep early. Oh right, don't think too much about Director Zhou's matter. I just want to let you know so you know what to do." "Alright, I got it." Chu Xiang couldn't help but laugh. She felt that Uncle Dong had become a worrisome old father. He was completely different from the first time they met. She opened Weibo and looked at the statement. It was very simple that this matter was a rumor. She reposted the statement and even found a nicer selfie to post. She wrote, "I couldn't tell that I was so charming in the hearts of so many people. Thank you for your appreciation." Xiang's fans were stunned when they saw her Weibo. Then they all laughed heartily under her Weibo. "My Xiang is too funny." That's right, the haters admire her too much. They just said that she was an abandoned woman and found another rich man to take over her. In the blink of an eye, they resolutely changed her to a rich man. It's not like you can change a rich man just because you want to, okay? My Xiang's charm is amazing. The haters are really illogical. They belittle Xiang on one hand and think that she can do whatever she wants. Then is my Xiang good or good? The haters are naturally fans. These haters have successfully told us that the fans firmly believe that Xiang's charm is invincible. Ha 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 ha. Actually, we don't need to attack the haters. Let them dance as much as they want. I really want to see how many strange ideas they can come up with in the end. Let's see if they can expose their own posts. Xiang is really open-minded. I want to be like Xiang and confess to Xiang that I love you for billions of years. Ah, the photos are so beautiful. Just based on Chu Xiang's face, I'll love her for life. The haters did not expect Chu Xiang to be so shameless. She actually twisted the news of her hooking up with a rich man to say that she was charming. She even said that the haters admired her charm. They were so angry. But sometimes, gossip could be broken with just one sentence. Chu Xiang's strange words directly turned the situation around. Many people were laughing at the haters. Chu Xiang's scandal was overshadowed by Chu Xiang's words because there were no explosive photos of them kissing. Chu Xiang was only joking. She didn't expect Blackie's combat power to be so much weaker than before. He couldn't continue fighting so easily. Chu Xiang this matter was resolved before it was even made public. In addition, Uncle Dong stared at the trending topic and spent money to remove it. The popularity of this matter dropped even faster. And the angriest people in this matter were probably Lin Jiawei and Mo Shinru, because they recognized Zhou Ye's car. Zhou Ye was Lin Jiawei's biggest obstacle. This was definitely the biggest insult to Lin Jiawei. As for Mo Shinru, the moment she saw the photos, jealousy penetrated her heart. Chapter 47. Lin Jiawei didn't know why he was so angry. Chu Xiang, whom he had abandoned, was valued so much by Zhou Ye. It was even possible that they were already in a relationship. He didn't feel that Zhou Ye had picked up something he didn't want. Instead, he felt that Zhou Ye had stolen something from him. A dark thought suddenly popped up in his mind. Chu Xiang loved him so much that she wanted to commit suicide. How could she let go of him so quickly? If he snatched Chu Xiang back from Zhou Ye, wouldn't that mean he had won against Zhou Ye? He didn't take Chu Xiang's rejection seriously at all. This kind of pure girl was the best to deal with. If she was angry, she would believe that he had changed his mind or had some difficulties. She didn't know anything about high society. Wouldn't it be enough to trick her into cooperating with the company and forcing her to marry him? Lin Jiawei was suddenly full of fighting spirit because he believed that he could definitely win against Zhou Ye. He especially wanted to see Zhou Ye's expression when he lost to him. Because of this sudden thought, Lin Jiawei didn't look for Mo Shinru. He felt that he wanted to calm down with Mo Shinru, but he didn't realize that in his subconscious, defeating Zhou Ye seemed to be more important than coaxing Mo Shinru. Early in the morning, he went to Chu Xiang's apartment building. Chu Xiang came downstairs with a travel bag full of Chinese medicine. She smiled and waved at Brother Yong and Tao, who were outside. Li Teza got out of the car and walked to her. He smiled and said, "Sister Chu, Mr. Lin is here. He's in the car over there. Please." Chu Xiang glanced at Lin Jiawei's car and walked around Li Tezu. "I remember telling you to get lost and not provoke me." Li Tezu hurriedly stopped Chu Xiang. "Sister Chu, Mr. Lin is here specially to see you." Lin Jiawei got out of the car. The trunk slowly opened, revealing a room full of red roses. He stood beside the car and smiled gently at Chu Xiang. Xiang, do you like it? It's for you." At this moment, Chu Xiang thought of a certain day a few decades ago. That Yi something had gotten a cart of red roses and blocked the entrance of the school. Was the brain circuit of a scumbag the same? But the two of them were really alike. They both felt that the original owner loved them wholeheartedly, and that they could chase her back with a wave of their hands. Were they daydreaming? Tao ran to Chu Xiang worriedly. Chu Xiang stuffed the travel bag into her arms and said, "Go to the car first." Then she walked towards Lin Jiawei step by step on her high heels. Lin Jiawei showed a satisfied smile. Before he could say anything, Chu Xiang grabbed his chin and looked around as if she was looking at a monster. Chu Xiang was puzzled. "You look like a human, but why can't you understand human language?" Lin Jiawei stopped smiling and frowned unhappily. In the past, when he showed such an expression, Chu Xiang would never make him angry again. Instead, she would soften and coax him. As a result, Chu Xiang patted his face and said disdainfully, "Your skin is too rough, your facial features are not delicate, your eyes are not pleasing, and your temperament is not likable. Where did you get the confidence to think that I will go back to you?" Chu Xiang took 2 steps back and looked at him with disdain. "Mr. Lin, have some self-awareness. Don't let others look down on you. Of course, I have long looked down on you, so get lost as far as you can, okay?" Chu Xiang. Lin Jiawei spat out her name and stared at her as if he wanted to eat her. Where was Chu Xiang? She turned around and got into her nanny van. It was time to enter the set. Who had time to talk nonsense with him? Based on her understanding of Lin Jiawei, these 2 sentences were enough to make Lin Jiawei not look for her for the rest of his life. Li Tezu stood aside and tried his best to reduce his presence. From time to time, he would glance at Lin Jiawei, who was about to explode. After a full 5 minutes, Lin Jiawei looked away and got into the car. "Go to the company." When the car started, he ordered, "Get rid of those flowers." "Yes, Mr. Lin," Li Tezu responded. He had a feeling that Lin Jiawei had not seen Chu Xiang after his divorce, but he had. From the way Chu Xiang had rejected the check last time, he knew that Lin Jiawei would not be able to get anything good out of it. However, Lin Jiawei had taken over his family's company at a young age. He was used to being arrogant and arrogant. If he did not hit the wall once, he would never believe that Chu Xiang did not love him. Li Tezu sighed inwardly. This was good too. He would not have to come to Chu Xiang to be scolded in the future. Lin Jiawei kept looking out of the window. His face was terrifyingly gloomy. How relaxed he was before he came was how angry he was now. No one, not even Mo Shinru, had humiliated him like this. There were other people present. Chu Xiang was really bold. For the first time, he realized that Chu Xiang was completely different from the past. Maybe it was really like her. After experiencing a life and death event, even her temperament had changed. A docile and cute cat could be teased, but a stray cat that scratched was detestable. Lin Jiawei immediately threw away the idea of snatching back Chu Xiang and said casually, "Send 9.99 roses to Rue and book a Western restaurant for lunch." "Okay, I'll arrange it right away." A trainee was lying on the balcony of the apartment building. She was even recording a video with her phone in her hand. She excitedly posted the video online with her account and captioned it, "Got solid evidence. Scumbag Lin wants to get back together. Xiang Xiang is mighty and domineering. So cool. Xiang Xiang wants to marry me. Attack my face." She was a Chu Xiang fan. After finding out that Chu Xiang lived here, she would walk around the corridor many times just to bump into Chu Xiang. She even asked for an autograph and a photo with Chu Xiang. Today, she was really excited to take this video. She wanted to let the group of haters worship Chu Xiang and see how Chu Xiang despises scumbag Lin. As expected, the video started a heated discussion online. F***ck, I thought that scumbag Lin Jiawei bullied Chu Xiang. In the end, it was Chu Xiang who despised the domineering president? What is Lin Jiawei doing? A prodigal son turning over a new leaf? A sudden awakening? He realized that the substitute is his true love. Has the white moonlight turned into rice grains? I just want to know Mo Shinru's thoughts. What is the feeling of going from white moonlight to being dumped by a mistress? Chu Xiang is awesome. Just do it. So what if he's rich? Does he really think that pretty girls can come and go as he pleases? Isn't Chu Xiang sitting in a luxury car? She must have found someone better to reject Lin Jiawei. Her. Do you really think she's so virtuous? Get lost, haters. I've been seeing you all slandering Chu Xiang. Does Chu Xiang need you to worry so much about her? Even if she found someone better, would it bother you? That can only mean that Chu Xiang is very charming. An abandoned and divorced woman is so arrogant. Does she think she's a fairy? The Qing dynasty is over. Don't come out and show off your low IQ. The video was very clear. Everyone who saw the video could see that Chu Xiang was full of disdain and disdain. Lin Jiawei's smile when he got out of the car and his gloomy face after that were made into emoticons and spread everywhere. This made everyone have a new view of their situation. No matter how much the abandoned woman didn't care, it would still make people feel that she was dumped. However, Chu Xiang dumping Lin Jiawei was different. Her attitude suddenly rose. The onlookers suddenly got a kick out of it and cheered loudly. By the time Lin Jiawei found out, the matter of him chasing Chu Xiang had already become a trending topic. Mo Xinru didn't sleep the entire night because of Zhou Ye's visit to Chu Xiang's apartment. When she thought of how her Prince Charming, whom she couldn't get, treated Chu Xiang gently, jealousy gnawed at her heart, making her feel even more tormented. Early in the morning, when she received 999 roses from Lin Jiawei asking for reconciliation, she felt a little better and was comforted. Who knew that in the blink of an eye, she would find out that Lin Jiawei had brought a car full of flowers to ask Chu Xiang to reconcile with her in the morning. He was publicly slapped in the face by Chu Xiang. What was Lin Jiawei trying to do? What did he take her for? And the roses? Did Lin Jiawei give her something that Chu Xiang didn't want? How dare Lin Jiawei? She had misunderstood Lin Jiawei. Lin Jiawei didn't lack money. Those roses that represented shame had long been thrown away by him. However, Mo Xinru couldn't believe it. She only felt that Zhou Yi and Lin Jiawei were both trying to be friendly to Chu Xiang. She was humiliated by her own substitute. This was definitely the biggest shame in her life. Mo Xinru immediately called Lin Jiawei to question him. However, Lin Jiawei was already annoyed. The two of them quarreled without saying a word, and their relationship fell to the freezing point again. Then, old Madame Lin asked Lin Jiawei to go back and give him a good scolding. Chu Xiang made her so angry that she fell ill. Her most valued grandson actually went to reconcile with Chu Xiang. It was really as Chu Xiang said. Her grandson wasn't as filial as she thought. Thinking of this, old Madame Lin felt better. She still held the company's shares in her hands. For a moment, she was suspicious and felt that no one was filial. She actually started to guard against her grandson. As for the angry comments online, what did it have to do with her? She just wanted to be her old Madame Lin and enjoy life as much as she wanted. The uproar on the internet didn't affect Chu Xiang at all. She had already joined the cast. She had met a few important people in the cast for lunch. She brought Tao along to greet them. At noon, she treated everyone to lunch and got familiar with everyone. Director Lee asked her to watch the male and female leads on the set first to adapt to the environment. Then they would reshoot her scenes. This drama was almost finished. There were only a few scenes left. However, it was a very important scene. They couldn't do without the third female lead. Who knew that the third female lead was so bad that she went directly to Country Age to make up for it? They couldn't just Photoshop it. Director Lee was still very attentive to this drama, so they could only find a third female lead to reshoot her scenes. Director Lee looked at Chu Xiang, who was seriously watching the performance on the set, and sighed. He also didn't expect Zhou Yi to do this. Chu Xiang's acting was really not that good. It was okay to act as a real girl, but there were too many traces of acting in other roles. It was obvious that she hadn't practiced enough. He called the scriptwriter over with some worry and said, "Later, let Chu Xiang act in an emotional scene. She can try out both the martial arts scene and the literary scene. Look at it carefully and think of a way to change her scenes." The scriptwriter nodded in understanding. "No problem." The scriptwriter took out the script and pondered over it. Soon it was Chu Xiang's scene. Director Lee called Chu Xiang over to act in the scene where the female demon's identity was exposed, and she was almost killed by her lover. Director Lee looked at her worriedly. This scene must be full of emotions. There must be a change from despair to ruthlessness. You have to have the feeling that since you betrayed me, I will kill you. Do you understand? Chu Xiang nodded. I understand. He betrayed me. Of course I will kill him. Director Lee felt that she was being too casual. He couldn't help but frown. Familiarize yourself with the lines. First, imagine what kind of expression and actions you should have. Oh right, you're pregnant right now. This is very important. Try to highlight it. Chu Xiang quickly scanned through the lines in the script. When the others saw this, they immediately lost hope. So, was Chu Xiang really acting like a big shot? Can't you be more serious when you're acting? Chapter 48. Chu Xiang was ready in just a few minutes, which made Director Lee's face turn even uglier. But he didn't care. The show still needed to be seen live. He called the second male lead, Cheng Jie, who was acting with Chu Xiang, and told them to start immediately. When Chu Xiang walked over, the corners of her mouth flattened, and she entered the zone as soon as she looked up. Director Lee and the scriptwriter looked at each other, surprised by her change. They signaled for the others not to disturb Chu Xiang, and to focus on Chu Xiang's performance. Chu Xiang slowly raised her head and looked at Cheng Jie. Her voice was very low, and she spoke very slowly. You want to kill me? Her lips were pursed into a straight line, and there was no expression on her face, as if she was very cold. But if you listened carefully, you could hear the slight tremble in her voice, indicating that she was not calm. Cheng Jie was reenacting the scene again. He took over the role with ease and pointed his sword at Chu Xiang. He said righteously, "Good and evil cannot coexist. If I had known that you were an evil cultivator, I would have killed you long ago." Chu Xiang looked straight into his eyes, and her voice was still very low as she said slowly, "You and I have been husband and wife for 3 years, and we once swore to cherish each other under the cotton. Was it all fake? I already have your flesh and blood in my stomach. What will you do?" Chu Xiang slowly raised her right hand, and her 5 fingers pressed against her stomach, as if she was going to press down hard, but also as if she was forcefully restraining herself from pressing down. Even the curve of her fingers revealed a sense of despair. Cheng Jie frowned and revealed a disgusted expression, and said without hesitation, "The son of a demon cultivator is a vile spawn. If you are pregnant, I will kill you with my own hands today, and get rid of 2 demons. Xuanrua die." Cheng Jie raised his arm to stab, and Chu Xiang's eyes became visibly cold when he spoke, and a layer of frost covered her face. When he stabbed over, her eyes sharpened, and a murderous aura rose from her body. She didn't dodge or avoid, and raised her hand to slap him. "I'll kill you." Cheng Jie was shocked when he met her gaze, and he quickly dodged backwards, knocking into the props behind him and falling down. Chu Xiang pulled him back to his feet and asked, "Teacher Cheng, are you all right?" Cheng Jie looked at her in shock. "I am fine." Crack. "Cheng Jie, what's wrong with you? Why are you hiding?" Director Lee stood up in annoyance. That scene just now was too good. They could have passed with just 1 take. In the end, Chu Xiang didn't have any problems, but Cheng Jie screwed up. Cheng Jie wasn't someone who didn't know his limits. Cheng Jie hurriedly apologized. "I'm sorry, Director Lee. Just now, Chu Xiang really looked like she wanted to kill me. I got into character and was really shocked. I'm sorry, I'm fine now. I'll definitely pass the next round." After he said that, everyone finally reacted. Was that Chu Xiang acting? Who said that Chu Xiang's acting was bad? They didn't even dare to breathe loudly just now because they were afraid that Chu Xiang would target them. What kind of godly acting was this? She was simply Xuanrua herself. Director Lee looked at Chu Xiang and shouted, "Continue acting. Follow along with the next scene." The props team and the makeup artist came forward to fix the 2 of them. They even hung wires and stuffed blood bags into their bodies. They continued from where they left off. Chu Xiang's shoulder was stabbed, and Cheng Jie was sent flying with a slap. Chu Xiang didn't seem to feel any pain. She flew in front of Cheng Jie and slammed her palm heavily on Cheng Jie's dantian. Ah! Cheng Jie fell down with a face full of pain. He screamed, "Vicious woman! You've destroyed my cultivation. Vicious woman. I should have killed you long ago. You vicious demoness, you deserve to die. Chu Xiang stood there quietly. It was as if she was looking at him, but also as if she wasn't looking at him. Cheng Jie was still cursing. She raised her right hand and placed it on her abdomen. She gently caressed it and then slapped her abdomen. Blood slowly appeared at her feet, but she smiled. Now between you and me, there's no more ties. The camera zoomed out, but Chu Xiang's smile made everyone unable to return to their senses. They couldn't tell if she was happy or sad, hateful or unwilling. Chu Xiang clearly didn't shout or have a face full of hatred, but she gave people a very anxious feeling. It was as if she was already covered in bruises, and then she personally cut off the ties that shouldn't exist. That was to save her own life. From now on, she was still herself. She was still the witch Xuanrua. The scriptwriter who had been silent all this time pulled Director Li excitedly. She's Xuanrua. She's exactly the same as the Xuanrua I imagined. No, she's even better. Chu Xiang is amazing. Xuanrua should be like her. Director Li, Chu Xiang is my favorite character in the entire script. There's no other character. Please don't cut her scenes. Look at how good Chu Xiang is. It's too good, right? If she's good at acting, why should we cut her scenes? Just make some adjustments and make her character a little more profound. The scriptwriter said excitedly, I'll edit it tonight. I'm bursting with inspiration. The string in Director Li's heart loosened. He smiled and called Chu Xiang over to show her the playback. She acted very well, even better than me and you. I was really afraid that you'd be possessed by the roaring emperor. If that happened, I wouldn't know how to cut it. Chu Yu. How do you understand Xuanrua? The scriptwriter looked over from the side. Chu Xiang didn't even think about it. Xuanrua became evil. Later on, she did a lot of unforgivable things. She's ruthless. A ruthless person wouldn't be sloppy and hesitant. She always knows what she's doing. If she wants love, she'll hide her identity and not care about her status. If she wants to be heartless, she'll be completely ruthless. She won't leave any ties behind. When she loves, she'll be as heartless as when she's heartless. Moreover, you've betrayed me, so I'll definitely make you suffer 1,000 times more than me. Director Li looked at her and felt an inexplicable chill down his spine. He suddenly understood why Cheng Jie was so immersed in the role. When Chu Xiang talked about Xuanrua, she really seemed to be Xuanrua herself. Moreover, the scene of her aborting the child was really creepy. Director Li coughed lightly and smiled. Good. You've understood it very well, and made preparations. It seems that we'll be able to finish filming soon. It just so happens that everyone's in good condition. Go take a break, and change your makeup. We'll shoot a few more scenes later. Chu Xiang nodded and looked at the scriptwriter strangely. Why was this person staring at her? The scriptwriter's eyes lit up even more. He walked over excitedly and said, Chu Xiang, can I add you on WeChat? I want to talk to you about Xuanrua's role. Sure. Tao, give me my phone. Chu Xiang exchanged WeChat with the scriptwriter and chatted for a while before going to the dressing room. No matter what, she used to be a top celebrity. Now that she was back, her popularity didn't decrease. She was a first-rate actress. She used the dressing room alone. It was quite peaceful. She looked at the script and asked the makeup artist to change her makeup. She read the script very quickly. The makeup artist asked curiously, Chu Xiang, have you read the script before? It seems very familiar. No, I just received the script today. I thought that I would get used to it for 2 days. I didn't expect to start filming in the afternoon. The makeup artist said in surprise. Then you remember your lines so quickly. You didn't get a single word wrong. Also, you acted really well just now. I think the audience will cry when they see this. It's so uncomfortable. Chu Xiang smiled. If it was some modern character, she wouldn't be able to understand it easily. But a female demon cultivator? Wasn't that her? Even if she didn't know how to be entangled with love and hate, she had seen it so many times. Acting was easy and didn't need to think at all. Tao sent everyone afternoon tea during her break in filming. Then she came back to talk to her. Sister Xiang, you and Lin Jiawei were filmed this morning. The internet is going crazy now. Lin Jiawei regretted it, and realized that you're his true love. The makeup artist had already left. Chu Xiang closed her eyes to rest. She smiled and said, "True love? Lin Jiawei only loves himself. I just happened to be his canary in the past. Don't worry, he won't harass me in the future. Uncle Dong will take care of the things on the internet. We just need to focus on filming." "I know, Sister Xiang. You acted really well just now. No wonder the teachers in these companies always praise you for your improvement. This movie will be released soon. When the time comes, many people will be shocked. Sister Xiang, you're going to amaze the audience." Tao was really happy for Chu Xiang. It was as if she was also proud of her. Chu Xiang thought about Xian Ruo's character and said with satisfaction, "This role is really suitable for my first comeback movie. I hope my fans will be happy when they see it." "They'll definitely be happy to death. I'm also a Xiang fan." Tao opened her phone and showed Chu Xiang her WeChat group. There were several large groups of Xiang fans. She had entered the fan club. However, she was also a Xiang fan. She chatted happily with them in the group. The Xiang fans in the group were talking about Lin Jiawei's comeback. Some Xiang fans were worried that Chu Xiang wouldn't be able to resist Lin Jiawei's pursuit. After all, Lin Jiawei had pursued Chu Xiang indiscriminately. This Chu Xiang would fall for it. If Chu Xiang and Lin Jiawei remarried, they would vomit to death. Tao saw it and helped them ask, "Sister Xiang, you really don't plan to get back together with Lin Jiawei, right?" "Of course. Is it not fun to film, or is it not good looking? Why would I get back together with a scumbag?" "That's good. I represent the Xiang fans to be relieved," Tao mischievously said, and typed a string of words in the group. "Trust me, Xiang. Who is Lin Jiawei? Is he worthy of my Xiang turning back? At most we'll crowdfund together, and buy a wolf dog for Xiang Xiang." Chu Xiang glanced at her message and found it funny. "What are you doing? Won't it be troublesome if Chu Xiang buys a wolf dog later? That's good. Let Lin Jiawei see if he can be compared to a wolf dog." "Sister Xiang, it's not a big deal to be in a relationship with a younger man. There are plenty of wolf dogs and puppies. If you meet one, you must be brave. Moreover, you're only 24. Even if you like someone older than you, there are many. Look who's that." Chu Xiang pressed down on her phone and said speechlessly, "Forget it. I'm busy with work. How can I have time to go on a date? If you want to introduce me, you should wait until I'm free." "Okay, Sister Xiang. You'll definitely become popular again soon. When the time comes, you'll have a romantic relationship. You'll be successful in both your career and love. Those haters will be so envious." "I'll see. Let's go and take the next post." Chu Xiang took the script and walked out. Tao lowered her head and sent another message in the group. "Xiang Xiang is focusing on her career. Everyone keep a low profile. When Xiang Xiang comes out with a new work, it'll be time for us to celebrate." The Xiang fans in the group quickly followed the trend. Xiang Xiang is focusing on her career and will never look back. Lin Jiawei won't have a chance. I'm looking forward to Xiang Xiang's work. I really want to see Xiang Xiang on TV soon. I love Xiang Xiang. I'm waiting for Xiang Xiang's new work. Chapter 49. Chu Xiang adapted very well to the cast. Most importantly, she acted well and brought Xuanruo's character to life. She acted even better than the third female lead who had left before. Naturally, everyone could accept her and would happily express their goodwill. After all, if she acted well, the filming would be completed quickly, and everyone would be able to leave earlier. At night, when she returned to the hotel to rest, Chu Xiang brewed the medicine and took the herbal bath as usual. The stage supervisor, assistant director and scriptwriter who came to her one after another smelled the strong smell of medicine, and the news of her drinking the medicine spread. The scriptwriter had just checked all the recent news about her, and when he came to her for the second time, he asked curiously, "Chu Xiang, is the Chinese medicine you brewed really beautifying?" Chu Xiang nodded. "It's true. My skin wasn't in good condition before. Since I'm back, I want to take good care of it." The scriptwriter looked at her smooth and tender skin and exclaimed, "Your skin isn't in good condition? It's already so delicate, okay? Chu Xiang touched her face. It's still a long way to go before it's so tender. Previously, my skin was rough and dark, and I didn't look energetic at all. It's different now. It's all because of the past half a month of recuperation. The scriptwriter widened his eyes in disbelief. This medicine is so effective? How much does it cost? It's about 10,000 yuan per batch. It was tough in the beginning. Now, if you want better effects, you can only use high-grade medicine. The scriptwriter withered when he heard that. I wanted to ask you for a formula. Forget it, it's so expensive. I can't afford it. Let's stick to your role. I think you acted very well, and could completely express Xuanruo's emotional changes. Then I think we should portray Xuanruo more deeply. This way, the audience will remember her better and like this character more. Although Xuanruo is a villain, in my heart, she's a very charming villain. I didn't write her charm but you did. So I hope we can discuss it together, and present the best Xuanruo to the audience. Then what direction do you want to change? Look, I'll tell you my idea. Chu Xiang leaned on the sofa and gathered spiritual energy to nourish her body, while listening to the scriptwriter. The scriptwriter really liked the role of Xuanruo. Chu Xiang felt very lucky because the first role she took on was met with a production crew that strived for perfection. The scriptwriter simply couldn't stop writing the script. If it wasn't for Chu Xiang stopping her, she would have used all the good plots she could think of on Xuanruo. However, some of them were just the screenwriter's fantasies. They didn't fit the true psychology of a demonic cultivator, so they were all rejected by Chu Xiang. The script that was polished this way was even better. After the final revision, Xuanruo was no longer just a villain, but a pitiful person that could make one's heart ache. However, she didn't need anyone's pity, because she would do whatever she wanted to do herself. Even if she failed and her soul was scattered, she would have no regrets. Her husband destroyed her love, so she destroyed her husband's cultivation. Those hypocritical righteous cultivators destroyed her home, so she exposed their true colors and exposed their selfish actions. The righteous cultivators became angry out of humiliation and chased after her, so she killed all her enemies. In the end, she was defeated by the male and female protagonists, so she fell off a cliff and died with a smile. Before she died, she also exposed a scandal of the righteous cultivators, leaving them a lot of trouble. From the beginning to the end, this character was straightforward and didn't suffer any grievances. She was cruel and merciless, but she could also be as gentle as water. She was never afraid of death, but before she died, she must make her enemies suffer a fate worse than death. This kind of character was the easiest to like. Even if she affected the innocent and viewed all the righteous cultivators as shameless, she was still more likable than other characters. She was more popular with the audience because all her changes started from the prejudice of the righteous cultivators. The more the scriptwriter thought about it, the more she liked it. When she left, she happily hugged Chu Xiang and smiled. You're really my lucky star. Your understanding of Xuanruo gave my script the finishing touch. I never thought I'd have such a charming villain in my script. Did you know that charming villains are harder to write than popular protagonists? In recent years, there have been very few outstanding villains. Our protagonist is very good at fighting, and now the villain is also so good at fighting. This drama will definitely explode. Chu Xiang smiled. I'll take your auspicious words. I also want to borrow the wind when this drama explodes. What wind? When the time comes, you'll be the hero. Do your best, we all have high hopes for you. The scriptwriter left in high spirits. Looking at her direction, she didn't plan to go back to her room. She might still need to discuss the script with the director. The scriptwriter didn't know what method to use to convince the actress, but in the end, the director decided to use the version that Chu Xiang helped to edit. The female protagonist, Xia Fei, wasn't very happy when she received the script. In the past, Xuanruo was a complete villain. When she and the male protagonist destroyed the villain, the audience would definitely cheer. But now, Xuanruo was pitted and then destroyed by them. Would the audience be happy? Their favorability towards them would definitely fluctuate. Xuanruo still wanted to stir up trouble before her death, planting a huge bomb to cause internal strife. The audience would definitely feel good about Xuanruo. Why did they have to let a third female lead be so outstanding? Wasn't this stealing her limelight? Xia Fei privately went to talk to Director Li and felt that this wasn't right. However, Director Li had already thought it through. He only promised her that the overall tone of the drama wouldn't change. The male and female leads would still be outstanding, but a good villain would set them off better and bring the drama to a higher level. There was no room for discussion. Xia Fei could only sullenly accept it. On the surface, she was still smiling at Chu Xiang. Who asked Chu Xiang to be inserted by Zhou Yi? She couldn't afford to offend her. During filming, Xia Fei tried to suppress the scene and teach Chu Xiang a lesson. Who knew that not only was Chu Xiang unaffected, she even made her NGs a few times. In the end, Xia Fei and Chu Xiang filmed 4 scenes together and didn't get any benefits. She was so angry that she left without looking back. It was also because of this incident that everyone in the production crew witnessed Chu Xiang's capabilities and sincerely acknowledged her acting skills. Director Li was also very attentive and had strict requirements for Chu Xiang. She strived for perfection in every aspect. While shooting good scenes, he also polished Chu Xiang's acting skills. Perhaps Director Li had only agreed to Zhou Yi out of politeness in the beginning. But now, Director Li really liked Chu Xiang and was willing to guide her. Chu Xiang finished filming 10 days of scenes in advance. The entire production crew was jubilant. She also benefited a lot from being on set and experienced a very interesting life. However, once the completion photos were released, the netizens couldn't sit still. Who was the person in the photos? Wasn't that Chu Xiang? Why was she standing beside the director? Why was she wearing a costume? Who on earth made Chu Xiang go back to acting? The netizens searched carefully and quickly found out that Chu Xiang was wearing Xianruo's costume in the set photos. Then, thinking back to the incident with the actress who played Xianruo, how could they not guess that Chu Xiang had taken over the role? But Xianruo was a ruthless villain. Didn't Chu Xiang act as the silly and sweet female lead in an idol drama? Was the director serious about casting her? Did he not consider the feelings of the book fans? Xianzong was especially popular and had many fans. Ever since the news of it being adapted into a TV series was released, the book fans had been worried that the TV series would ruin the book. It was only when the production crew revealed that the screenwriter was the original author that the book fans were relieved. But who would have thought that Chu Xiang would join them when they were about to finish filming? The book fans jointly boycotted and strongly requested the director to reshoot Xianruo. If they really couldn't do it, they could just cut out Chu Xiang. Just think about a well-made TV series, but the moment the villain appeared, the style of the series would change. Who would be able to watch it then? Xiang Xiang's fans weakly retorted. Xiang Xiang is already different from before. Her performance in the live broadcast is proof. She is not weak at all now. Instead, she is very aggressive. Xiang Xiang's fans, shut up. Do you believe that Chu Xiang can act well as the villain? If she can act well, I'll eat my keyboard live. Xiang Xiang's fans are the same as their fans. They are all silly and sweet. They must think that Chu Xiang's acting is very good. I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to watch it. I have a feeling that this series will be lower than 4 points. A rat's poop spoils the whole pot of soup. Although I admit that Chu Xiang is good-looking and has a good sense of variety, her acting is really awkward. She doesn't know how to act, yet she insists on acting. Isn't she just scamming the fans? Only the fans will watch it. Xiang Xiang has filmed 3 dramas in the past. They were all relatively short and didn't have much time to learn and perform. However, it's a fact that each one is better than the last. I believe that she will be better than before. Oh, she wants us to pay for her learning? Why doesn't she film after she learns well? Isn't it just to make money? I despise her. A third female lead is standing beside the director and squeezing the male lead away. And think about the reason yourself. Get lost. Acting is acting. What's the meaning behind it? Xiang Xiang despises Lin Jiawei. Would she look for a director just to film? Is there something wrong with her brain? With the resistance of the book fans, the ridicule of the haters, Lu Rao's suspicion, and the unconfident protection of the Xiang Xiang's fans, the official Weibo account of Mysterious Sect was in a mess. Hazy finally caught a black mark on Chu Xiang. It was as if he had turned out in full force. Now that he had caught this black mark, he was going all out to attack her. They even made a video of Chu Xiang's awkward first time acting into a picture, and posted it on the screen. Chu Xiang's awkward acting skills could be seen everywhere, and passers-by felt that mysterious sect might not be good to watch. The Xiang fans were going crazy in the group. They had just attacked the haters a few times, especially when Trash Lin came back last time. They had dealt a heavy blow to the haters and thought that they wouldn't have to see the haters for a long time. Who knew that Chu Xiang would suddenly go to act, and it was the highly anticipated mysterious sect. This was like poking a hornet's nest. Wasn't this a loss of popularity? What could they use to fight back against the haters? They didn't have enough confidence. It wasn't right to bite the bullet and fight back. It would be easier for Chu Xiang to be criticized. Peach sent a message in the group. It's confirmed. Xiang acted super well this time. Brothers and sisters, feel free to fight back. Xiang won't let us down. A bunch of people in the group asked her how she got the news. Of course Peach couldn't. She could only swear that the news was definitely true. Otherwise, Director Li wouldn't have used Chu Xiang. Some of the Xiang fans were very young and impetuous. If she swore that she would take the news seriously and fight back against the haters. However, just as they had been worried, no one would stand on Chu Xiang's side if she used her acting skills to fight back against the haters. The passers-by felt that the Xiang fans were too brainless to protect her this time. And the book fans naturally wouldn't accept it. Chu Xiang's good momentum since her comeback finally changed. Those who didn't like her were waiting to see her make a fool of herself, and how she would court death. Chapter 50. Neither the production crew nor Chu Xiang responded. Chu Xiang only sent a barefaced photo to her fans. I'll be meeting everyone soon. After recuperating for so long, Chu Xiang's looks were really good. Even in a barefaced selfie, she was still beautiful. The fans returned to their home base to lick their screens, hammering Chu Xiang's looks. There was really nothing to say about this. Only a few haters would lie through their teeth and couldn't understand Chu Xiang's beauty. Most people, including passers-by, thought that maybe the role of Xuanrua had chosen Chu Xiang purely because she was beautiful enough. Looking at it this way, Chu Xiang looked really good in the witch costume in the wrap photos. Her makeup was poles apart from the naive and sweet image in the past. The corners of her eyebrows and eyes were raised at just the right angle, making Chu Xiang's sweet face look sharp. Her long black hair was like a waterfall, her red dress embroidered with dark patterns, and the red flower between her eyebrows all exuded a sense of evil. Just looking at the photos, she really looked like a witch. Some passers-by who preferred to look at faces silently changed their minds. I'm convinced by Chu Xiang's face. If she wants to be the #1 beauty in the demon world, I think Chu Xiang can do it. Actually, Chu Xiang's role is only the third female lead. She doesn't necessarily have that many scenes. This drama has always been an excellent production. The director definitely won't destroy the Great Wall. Don't worry, everyone. Maybe the director saw that Chu Xiang's acting wasn't good and reduced the villain scenes. Her later edition definitely won't affect the whole drama. Don't think too much. Just wait and watch the drama. Of course, there were also book fans and haters who said, I won't watch it with Chu Xiang in it. Whoever watches it is a coward. However, the production crew wouldn't be threatened. Director Li was well aware of Chu Xiang's acting skills, so the production crew wasn't anxious at all. They were as steady as Mount Tai and didn't say a word. On the other hand, the scriptwriter posted on Weibo to appease the book fans. He definitely wouldn't let them down. However, book fans might not necessarily be fans of the author. Sometimes, they might even feel that the author did not care about his book for the sake of money. Thus, this matter caused quite a stir for 2 days. However, the Xiang dynasty fans had already returned to their base camp and no longer appeared. The book fans' comments and the haters' brainless attacks made them seem a little aggressive. This matter was left unsettled just like that, and Chu Xiang even gained a bunch of fans for her looks. After Chu Xiang rested for 2 days, Uncle Dong called her to the company for a meeting to discuss her future work. The acting teacher had been asked by Uncle Dong to go to the set to watch Chu Xiang act. When he came back, he was full of praise for Chu Xiang. But he still thought that Chu Xiang had performed exceptionally well this time. She had improved every time in class, but not to this extent. Then the next script would have to be carefully considered. With a good start, every work in the future would have to play to its strengths and avoid its weaknesses. Only then would it be able to develop in a better direction. The music teacher and dance teacher felt that Chu Xiang should strengthen her singing and dancing. Thus, they did not consider releasing albums or singing and dancing announcements for the time being. The only thing that they did not need to continue monitoring was Chu Xiang's body. Her body had been getting better over the past month. Her figure and skin had reached the standard of excellence. They did not need Chu Xiang to come to the company for training anymore. The operations department and the public relations department's supervisor gave some suggestions. Then Uncle Dong took out 3 scripts, 5 variety shows, and 2 advertisements for everyone to discuss. One of the scripts was a police and gangster film. The film crew had taken a fancy to Chu Xiang's skills in the variety show and invited her to play the role of a policewoman. This was a web drama. The production budget was limited. The actors' acting skills were also ordinary. Only the male lead and the villain boss were good actors. Although the policewoman was the female lead, the focus was on the male lead and the villain boss. The female lead scenes could only be filmed in the 3rd place. She did not even have half of the role of the villain boss. This was because they had taken a fancy to Chu Xiang's popularity. With such a role, as long as Chu Xiang had the looks and skills, it would not be too bad. She could definitely pass. The acting teacher said, "The role of a policewoman. If Chu Xiang wants to play it, she must first go to the police station to observe, or use other methods to understand the characteristics of a policewoman. I feel that her skills and lines are fine. Why? It just gives people a sense of injustice." The acting teacher smiled. Chu Xiang's performance on the set was really amazing. She seems more suitable to play the villain. Chu Xiang said, "I can overcome this. I will pay attention to this aspect of my performance in the future." Uncle Dong nodded. The reason why this drama was brought over is because the male lead's acting skills are off the charts. You also know him. It's Liao Zhe, who you did a mission with during your first live broadcast. He alone can carry an entire web drama. With the addition of the villain, this drama is even more stable. I feel that it will be a hit. However, the others do not have much of a presence. If you want to play it, you must act especially well. Otherwise, you will definitely be overshadowed. In short, this is an opportunity, but also a little risky. Let's look at the other 2 dramas. The second drama was about women in the workplace. The female lead married into a rich family and became a full-time housewife. Her husband was cold and not good at expressing himself. He was also busy with company affairs and rarely paid attention to the female lead's feelings. The female lead's mother-in-law made things difficult for her all the time. On her husband's side, the second female lead caused a lot of misunderstandings. The female lead couldn't take it anymore and asked for a divorce. Then she studied and worked hard in the workplace. As her position got higher and higher, she became more confident and powerful. Her ex-husband had always loved her. He slowly learned how to express his feelings and how to deal with family matters. He seriously pursued her once again, and the 2 of them were reunited. After listening to the introduction, Chu Xiang shook her head without waiting for others to speak. "I'm not taking this drama. The first half is too similar to my real life. If the second half is connected to my real life by the audience, it will be very uncomfortable. Also, I don't think there's anything to change with the male lead's personality. The second male lead is obviously better." Everyone looked at each other. The head of the public relations department said, "I think Chu Xiang might prefer a role that is quick to repay kindness and revenge. Actually, I also think this is more suitable because Chu Xiang's image after her comeback is self-confident and self-reliant. It's easier to solidify her fans if she plays a more straightforward role. She can try out other roles later. It's a good opportunity to hone her acting skills." Uncle Dong nodded and passed on this script. The 3rd script was a palace drama. It was a big IP and excellent production. The female lead was a big drama. The whole drama was about the intrigue between the women in the harem. Chu Xiang was the third female lead in the drama. She was a brainless and merciless imperial concubine who loved the emperor deeply. The director of this drama knew Director Li. He heard from Director Li that Chu Xiang's ruthlessness as Xian Ruo scared the other actors in the drama. That was why he found Chu Xiang. This character was actually naive and sweet. It was similar to how Chu Xiang acted before, so it shouldn't be a problem. She just needed to control her expression and eyes and say a few vicious lines. If her acting skills were bad, she could just NG a few more times. At least her face would definitely fit the role. Uncle Dong said, Chu Xiang's acting skills don't have a good reputation. We can't find many opportunities to act. Although we know that Chu Xiang's acting is good, no one else knows. Most of the roles that Chu Xiang acts in have a purpose. I think that if we directly let Chu Xiang play the female lead, it'll be easy for the audience to dislike it before it's broadcast. If it's a second or third female lead, everyone won't be so against it. When the drama is broadcast, it'll prove Chu Xiang's ability. Naturally, there will be better opportunities waiting for us. This way, it'll be more stable. What do you think? The operations manager nodded and said, Actually, there are 2 other dramas that we've contacted, but they're all idol dramas. I think we should avoid this genre for now. We don't want the audience's impression of Chu Xiang to be fixed in a naive and sweet idol drama. Chu Xiang looked at the filming time and number of scenes. She said, I want to take the role of a policewoman and the role of an imperial concubine. Can we discuss with them about filming on both sides? Uncle Dong muttered. These 2 dramas don't treat you as an important character. You don't have many scenes, so they don't necessarily care about this. But I still plan to let you act in a variety show. It'll be too tiring for you to film on both sides. Chu Xiang smiled and said, It doesn't matter if it's tiring. I just feel that I have too few works now. Every time I see my fans' comments, they still want to see my works. I have a feeling that I'm too relaxed now. This web drama only has 16 episodes, and it's the male lead's drama. I don't have many parts. As for the palace drama, I'm confident that I can grasp the role of an imperial concubine well. The filming will go smoothly. So I hope to film on both sides and let the fans see more works as soon as possible. Of course, if it's not suitable, then forget it and accept the palace drama. Uncle Dong waved his hand. It's fine. I'm familiar with the directors on both sides. As long as it doesn't delay the filming, it won't be a problem. Everyone, let's watch the variety show. There was a variety show about love between amateurs. Chu Xiang would be an observer in the studio to observe amateurs in love. Then she would express her views on love and marriage. Chu Xiang had never seen such a show before. She asked doubtfully, Do nothing but watch TV and talk? Will anyone see it like this? The operations manager smiled. This kind of variety show is very popular now. It's easy for people to immerse themselves in the show. There's also the effect of the celebrities themselves. I think it's time for people to pay attention to your love life. Your words will make you a hot topic. You can express some of your own views on this show and make everyone believe that you're not a materialistic girl, not a lovey-dovey person, and definitely not going back to the past. What do you think? Listening to you, it seems to be the case. I don't know much about this. You guys can decide. Chu Xiang wouldn't arrogantly make decisions about things she didn't understand. It was better to leave it to the professionals. The other variety show was a task-based variety show with 6 regular MCs. Every episode had different challenges. Seat ejection, water battles, high-altitude building blocks, and so on. There were also all kinds of interesting and cheeky games. The overall show was very happy, and there were many viewers. The original female MC had to shoot 2 movies, and had no time to take care of it. Hence, Uncle Dong recommended Chu Xiang. Previously, Chu Xiang had shown an outstanding sense of variety in her 2 live broadcasts. So the other party didn't hesitate to agree. Uncle Dong said, This is purely an opportunity that I snatched by relying on favors. Many people are eyeing this vacancy. From the perspective of increasing national popularity, I'd rather take on one less drama than miss this variety show. The operations manager didn't want to give up on the variety show. He said, You can film more variety shows. If you have time, I suggest you take on both. Chu Xiang asked Tao to project her schedule on the big screen. Seeing that there was still some time for her to rest, she supported her chin. I think the workload can be bigger. Chapter 51. After consulting with a nutritionist, Uncle Dong decided on 2 TV series, 2 variety shows, and an endorsement for Chu Xiang. The endorsement was for a high-end brand of milk that was highly popular in the country. Chu Xiang knew that he had used Uncle Dong's connections again. Actually, which one of her jobs wasn't because of Uncle Dong? Uncle Dong had used so many connections for her. After the meeting, she called out to Uncle Dong and said sincerely, "Thank you, Uncle Dong." Uncle Dong closed his laptop and smiled at her. "If you want to thank me, then do your job well. Don't let me down. When I retire, it's all up to you." Chu Xiang said without hesitation, "I'll only make you proud." Uncle Dong shook his head and laughed when he heard her arrogant words. He pointed at her with his index finger. It's fine if you're at home. Don't say such things when you're outside. Many people are staring at you." He said earnestly, "Actually, it's not all because of my old face that you can get these resources. If you can't do it, they won't joke about your work. For example, I sent them a video of you dancing in the practice room without makeup. You met the requirements for this milk endorsement. You still have to meet the other party and see them in person before you can sign the contract. Therefore, connections are the most unreliable thing in the entertainment industry. If you do well, it can be the icing on the cake. If you don't do well, there might not be anyone to help you. You have to work hard to return to school." Chu Xiang's eyes were full of confidence. "Don't worry, Uncle Dong. I definitely won't embarrass you." The door of the meeting room opened, and Zhou Yi leaned in. When he saw Chu Xiang, his eyes lit up. "You're done with the meeting? How is it?" "I've decided on 2 TV series, 2 variety shows, and an endorsement. Everyone screened them together, and they're very suitable for me." Chu Xiang looked down and saw that he was carrying a big bag full of spicy sticks, instant noodles, beef tendons, and other snacks. She raised her eyebrows. "President Zhou, what are you doing?" Zhou Yi lifted the bag and asked with a smile. "Let's watch TV together for a while? Uncle Dong, you must be tired after chatting for so long, right? Come and hang out in my office." Uncle Dong looked at him, and then looked at Chu Xiang. He stood up with his notebook and cup and cleared his throat. "I still need to make a call to confirm that I've got the resources. Strike while the iron is hot. Don't let anyone steal it. You guys have fun." Zhou Yi stepped aside and patted Uncle Dong on the shoulder as he walked over. With his back to Chu Xiang, Zhou Yi winked at him. "Uncle Dong, you've worked hard. I'll give you a bonus at the end of the month." Uncle Dong didn't know whether to laugh or cry. If he hadn't already talked to Chu Xiang, how could he be at ease leaving Chu Xiang behind? However, when he thought that it was still uncertain who would be the one to fall into the trap, he decided to just leave. Anyway, she had a premonition that Chu Xiang would not be the one to fall into the trap. Zhou Yi walked in and put the bag on the table for Chu Xiang to see. "I bought a lot of snacks. They're all great for watching TV. Do you want some? Is there anything you don't know about today's contract? Do you want to watch that love variety show?" Chu Xiang's gaze moved from the snacks to his face. She found that his eyes were full of expectation. It was more than when they first met. She was very familiar with this kind of gaze. Ever since her cultivation reached the upper middle level of the devil's path, this kind of admiring gaze had surrounded her and had never disappeared. She had seen all kinds of admirers. Zhou Yi was one of the types that could attract her attention. He had a good-looking face, a good figure, a sense of humor, and a sense of propriety. He was not entangled. It was very comfortable to get along with him. She stood up and slowly curved her lips. "Okay, let's watch a love variety show." Zhou Yi immediately showed a good-looking smile. When Zhou Yi turned on the TV, Chu Xiang saw the love variety show at a glance. At first glance, she knew that Zhou Yi had chosen it in advance. She looked at Zhou Yi with a smile. Zhou Yi looked at her without avoiding her gaze. He pretended to scare her. "I know your schedule like the back of my hand. Are you afraid?" Chu Xiang smoothed her hair and sat down beside him. She turned her head and asked him with a smile. Director Zhou, you can't help but want to pay attention to my schedule. Are you afraid? Zhou Yi smelled a pleasant floral fragrance. He couldn't help but secretly take a breath and chuckle. I've never known what it means to be afraid. I'll do whatever I want to do. Didn't you do the same in the interview before? That's right. Otherwise, it would be boring to be restrained. Chu Xiang looked at the TV. Seeing that the show had already started, she had no intention of continuing. She focused on watching the host introduce the love observer. Zhou Yi glanced at the TV. He took out all the snacks from the bag and put them on the table. He opened a pack of spicy sticks and handed it to Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang took it. She knew what it was from her memory, but she had never eaten it before. She took a bite. The spicy taste with a hint of sweetness stimulated her taste buds. She felt that she had more saliva in an instant. She curiously took another bite. The spicy taste tempted her to take another 3 bites. Then a 4th. Unknowingly, she finished the pack of spicy sticks. Zhou Yi came back with 2 glasses of lemonade. He was surprised to see the empty bag. You didn't leave a bite for me? You like snacks so much? Chu Xiang threw the bag away without changing her expression. I haven't eaten it for many years. I've forgotten what it tastes like. Then you must like it too. It's better than spicy sticks. Let me open it for you. Zhou Yi took a pack of konjac, opened it and poured it on a plate. He took a fork and put it in her hand. The red spicy oil on the plate looked very appetizing. Chu Xiang forked a piece of konjac and put it in her mouth. The pure spicy taste was indeed better than the spicy sticks. It was bouncy and a little crunchy. It gave her an inexplicably refreshing feeling. She looked at the male and female guests on the screen testing each other in the room and eating konjac. She suddenly understood why Zhou Yi was so good at chasing dramas. She couldn't help but look at the other snacks. Zhou Yi saw the look in her eyes and knew what she wanted. Shredded pork, spicy duck neck, fried bean skin, fish and shrimp scallops, pickled pepper chicken feet, spicy fish balls. Chu Xiang only cared about watching TV and eating. When she finished the food in her hand, new snacks were sent to her. Zhou Yi leaned on the sofa and watched her eat. Her mouth was full, and he felt his heart being hit lightly. He reached out to pick up a fish ball and put it in her mouth. Chu Xiang opened her mouth and ate it while watching TV. Zhou Yi felt the pad of his finger that had touched Chu Xiang's lips become hot. He rubbed the tip of his finger and smiled silently. He bought snacks just to let Chu Xiang feel that he was more down to earth and not so distant. He didn't expect to see another side of Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang looked at the snacks with a dazed and a little longing in her eyes. It was really too cute. It was completely different from her usual ladylike appearance. Apart from him, who else could see Chu Xiang's private side? Zhou Yi suddenly felt a strange sense of satisfaction. The feeling of his heart swelling came inexplicably, but it was surprisingly pleasant. It made him feel like he was floating. He took out 2 boxes of instant noodles and heated up 2 boxes of hot pot. Chu Xiang smelled the aroma and looked over. Zhou Yi smiled. It's noon. Why don't we eat out and just eat this? Okay. Chu Xiang nodded. She really hadn't eaten instant noodles before. Ever since her cultivation reached a decent level, she had been eating all kinds of delicacies, spiritual fruits, and demonic beasts. The taste was so delicious that it couldn't be compared to the delicacies of the mortal world. In her previous life, she had eaten many private dishes and delicacies from various countries. However, she had never eaten so-called junk food. The fragrance of the instant noodles kept wafting over. The temptation was completely different from other delicacies. It made people want to try it. When she looked at the instant noodles for the 3rd time, Zhou Yi opened the lid. He stirred the noodles and brought the box to her. I know that there's a street full of food in the night market. Why don't we go and try it? Chu Xiang took a bite of the instant noodles. The unique taste made the corners of her mouth curl up. She asked curiously, Is this what you eat in the street full of food? No, it's all freshly made. Zhou Yi knew that this was the right step. He explained, The night market has grilled squid, lobster, Odin fried crispy meat, and all kinds of delicious food. You'll know when you see it. However, if you're discovered, you'll definitely be surrounded. We'll disguise ourselves before going. Chu Xiang nodded. It'll be easy to disguise. No one will recognize me. The TV show reached the first date of the male and female guests. The observers were analyzing who they liked. Chu Xiang stopped talking and focused on watching. Zhou Yi took the self-heating hot pot and leaned over to Chu Xiang. They were guessing who the guests really liked. After some time, Uncle Dong knocked on the door and told Chu Xiang that they had secured the resources. Only then did Chu Xiang realize that the whole afternoon had passed. The tea table was full of packaging of all kinds of snacks. She was full. However, after circulating the Reiki in her body for a week, all the food was digested. Chu Xiang found that there was nothing left in the bag of snacks. She was a little disappointed. Seeing this, Zhou Yi couldn't help regretting that he didn't buy enough snacks. However, he was full. Chu Xiang was a big eater. Uncle Dong looked at the junk food on the tea table, shook his head and laughed. You can watch it. I'll get off work first. Chu, you should go back and rest early. You have to sign the endorsement contract tomorrow. Uncle Dong, I'll go with you. Chu Xiang got up and smiled at Zhou Yi. Thank you for watching TV with me for the whole afternoon. I'll ask the cleaner to clean it up. Zhou Yi hurriedly looked at his watch and got up. It's late. Let's have dinner together before going back. No, I ate a lot just now. Chu Xiang secretly looked at Zhou Yi's bulging belly and said with a smile. I want to go back and read the script. Mr. Zhou, you should get off work early too. Chu Xiang smiled and said goodbye. Then she took her bag and left with Uncle Dong. Zhou Yi leaned on the sofa and pondered for a while. Was he thrown away after being used? He got up and chased after them. He heard Uncle Dong ask Chu Xiang, how did you feel in the afternoon? There was a hidden meaning in his words. Uncle Dong was helping him to sound her out. Good job. Zhou Yi lightened his footsteps, pricked up his ears, and held his breath to eavesdrop. Then he heard Chu Xiang's answer. The snacks were very delicious. I plan to ask Tao to buy more and bring them to my house later. By the way, I already know what characteristics the observer of a love variety show needs. Uncle Dong, don't worry. I'll do my best. Zhou Yi stopped. Very good. She didn't mention anything about him at all. Moreover, Chu Xiang and Tao would eat and watch TV together at home. He wasn't the only one who saw how Chu Xiang looked like in private. So, didn't that afternoon look like an empress eating leisurely, while Zhou Yi waited on her by the side? Why did he suddenly feel that the road of chasing his wife was so far away? Chapter 52. Chu Xiang went to meet the milk brand without makeup. The person in charge made the decision as soon as he saw her. Her skin was too good. It was white and tender, which was the effect they wanted. Chu Xiang took on 5 jobs at once. Although they were not done at the same time, she still had to go to various places to be busy. Shooting commercials, taking print photos, taking makeup photos, starting promotions, recording shows and shooting movies. She was busy from morning to night almost every day. If it was an ordinary person, they would definitely be exhausted. However, she had spiritual energy to nourish her body and took medicinal baths every time. Not only did she not feel tired, but she was also in an excellent state. Last time, the matter of Chu Xiang acting as the witch of dark sect was left unsettled. However, everyone did not forget that Chu Xiang's TV series and variety shows were officially announced again. When the photos were released, it suddenly felt very unreal. Chu Xiang just made a comeback, right? Why does she have so many resources? Is she a top star? What top star? Didn't you see that she's acting as the 3rd female lead? The first female lead in web dramas is similar to the 3rd female lead. That's the male lead's drama. However, variety shows have amazing resources. After Lin Lin got off the car, she spent a lot of time staring at Super Hot Star. But Chu Xiang snatched it away. Amazing. I won't watch Super Hot without Lin Lin. Lin Lin is irreplaceable. Who the hell is Chu Xiang? How can an outdated idol replace Lin Lin? Are you kidding me? They're not on the same level at all. Sweet Love Song had very high ratings last season. I'm looking forward to what Chu Xiang will say in the show. I bet her words will be amazing. Maybe the production team likes Chu Xiang because she's a hot topic. Isn't she a hot topic now? Does she have any representative works? I'm confused. It's fine if she's on variety shows. Chu Xiang has a good sense of variety. I'm looking forward to her acting in variety shows. But why does she want to act? Don't you know how good her acting skills are? How big is Deep Palace? The first and second female leads are all good actors. Chu Xiang is actually the third female lead? Can you imagine a bunch of scheming concubines fighting, and a silly and sweet concubine popping up? It's still a vicious wind. I'm afraid it'll turn into a brainless drama. I think Chu Xiang's role in Target should be alright. She's a police officer after all. Those who have seen her live stream know that she's quite skilled. Just take it as the time when she twisted Zhu Yujia and pretended to be a police officer. Who would remember that? He's too handsome, okay? I was seduced by her. I'm a fan of Liao Zhe's. I support her. You don't even want to watch Chu Xiang's dramas. Just give up on variety shows. You just ruined Dark Sect. Don't ruin other dramas. The Public Relations Department had long expected that Chu Xiang would be questioned. After all, it was a fact that she did not have any representative works. However, those words that questioned her were just like the wheels of a car. They came and went, and couldn't hurt Chu Xiang at all. The job had already been set. Peach asked Chu Xiang's fans to stay calm and look forward to Chu Xiang's new works in a low-key manner. Because she occasionally revealed some insider information, she was now a very influential fan in the fan group. Xiang's fans listened to her very well and didn't panic at all. Xiang's fans didn't fight with others, and passers-by just casually said a few words. It was already normal for haters to flame her. Even netizens who didn't watch these things knew that Chu Xiang was always being attacked by others. There was nothing wrong with it. However, under the official Weibo of Target and Deep Palace, there were people leaving comments, hoping that they would consider the audience's feelings and replace Chu Xiang. Of course, it was impossible to replace her. Chu Xiang's first film was a milk commercial. In the organic farm, Chu Xiang wore plain clothes and pants. Her hair was tied into a low ponytail behind her head. She looked like the girl next door, pure and gentle. She wore disposable gloves and used a brush to scrub the cow's body. The corners of her mouth curved into a happy arc, and her eyes were full of tenderness as she looked at the cow. The cow seemed to be very comfortable. It raised its head at her, stuck out its tongue, and leaned towards her face. Chu Xiang hurriedly dodged back and let out a clear and pleasant laugh. She hugged its head with both hands and rubbed it. A person and a cow were playing under the orange sun. The background was blue clouds and green grassland. In the distance, there were groups of cows eating grass. Natural, relaxed, warm, and smiling. It made people unconsciously feel relieved. The scene changed. Chu Xiang was squatting beside the cow, holding a big bucket of rich milk in her hands. She closed her eyes and revealed an intoxicated smile. Under the camera, Chu Xiang's skin was tender and delicate. It was as delicate as the milk in the bucket, full of silky bliss. A line of words slowly appeared at the bottom of the screen. Natural, healthy, nutritious. Mellow milk, real natural milk. This commercial was not only broadcast during CCTV's prime time, but also before and after a popular variety show sponsored by the Milk Factory. Opening Weibo would automatically play this commercial. There were also promotional posters hanging on the walls of many supermarkets, subways, and bus stations. Chu Xiang suddenly appeared in everyone's vision. Even the milk cartons were printed with her pure and beautiful smile. I can't help it. I love Chu Xiang to death. I'm praising Chu Xiang's beauty. Her skin is really good. She looks so good even without makeup. She's so beautiful. I want to pinch her face. Ah. Chu Xiang's face is still the face of first love. She's so pure. Playing with the cow is too much of a violation, right? My heart is moved. Confess to my goddess. Chu Xiang's face without makeup looks like a pure schoolbell. She looks like the little sister next door. This scene is too beautiful. I want to buy a few cartons of milk to drink. I want Chu Xiang's good skin. Sob, sob, sob. Chu Xiang is a bad student who has never been to university. How can she be a schoolbell? Don't forget that she's divorced. How can she have a pure sister? Her skin will be better after drinking a few mouthfuls of milk? She's cheating you. Look at how much makeup she uses in private. Also, this is a beauty filter, okay? Chu Xiang's bare face is an anti. There was nothing wrong with this advertisement at all. Chu Xiang's beauty was also impeccable. The haters' stomping feet were all mocked by the passers-by. Everyone had eyes, okay? In terms of beauty, the haters of Chu Xiang were probably blind. As for the fact that she had never been to university and was divorced, what was so funny about that? Chu Xiang's current height was something that many people could not reach in their lifetime. From the advertisement, she looked pure and lovely. So what? There was even a method that if Chu Xiang played the pure female lead, she would definitely pass the pass line. Stop staring at the evil character. Chu Xiang's advertisement made her trending again. This time, it was all about her looks. The haters took a close-up shot of her when she had just returned and participated in the live broadcast of Xiong 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 Xiong. Chu Xiang's skin is good. Come and take a look. Chu Xiang's makeup has faded after the exercise. Can you see her haggard state clearly? There were also photos of her when she had just been discharged from the hospital. See if she's an auntie? Is this a 24-year-old face? He's clearly 34 years old. Tao immediately retorted. Who's in a good state after being discharged from the hospital? That was a hospital, not a beauty salon, okay? Take a look at Sister Xiang's pictures from the time she was discharged from the hospital until now. She was discharged from the hospital, artist bear or not, outdoor missions, berry quiz, and finally this commercial. Sister Xiang's skin is getting better and better, okay? Peach also said in the fan group that Chu Xiang would be barefaced in the commercial, without any filter. She was just so good at fighting. Of course, the fans were willing to believe in Chu Xiang. They forwarded the pictures of the peach. When these pictures were placed together, the contrast was really obvious. The haters insisted that Chu Xiang's good condition were all photoshopped pictures and filters. Anyway, no one knew each other on the internet. If they didn't like her, they would unreasonably criticize her. However, the topic had already gone off topic. No one paid any attention to them. Everyone was discussing how Chu Xiang took care of herself. How did she manage to restore her skin to that of an 18-year-old in just over a month? Her natural beauty couldn't be helped. However, if one really looked at the pictures, they could tell that Chu Xiang's condition wasn't very good at the beginning. Her skin was dark and a little haggard. It was just that she was especially listless. In the end, the one in the commercial was simply the nation's first love. No one doubted that she was an 18-year-old girl. The female netizens were all crazily Chu Xiang, asking her about her skincare methods on Weibo. Someone suddenly remembered. Wasn't there a leak before that Chu Xiang bought Chinese medicine to beautify her skin? That's right, that's right. Could it be that Chu Xiang changed so quickly because she used medicine to nourish her body? That's right. Only a healthy body can have good skin. But what magical medicine is so amazing? There won't be any side effects, right? I also nourished my body. My skin didn't get better after drinking medicine for half a year. My cousin is a staff member of the Dark Sect production team. She saw Chu Xiang in the hotel room and smelled like Chinese medicine. She went to the production team with a travel bag full of Chinese medicine. Sister Xiang, where did you go? Come out and save us. We also want fair and tender skin. Calm down. If Chinese medicine was better than cosmetics, it would have been exposed long ago. Maybe Chu Xiang is the filter effect. There were all kinds of things on the internet, but everyone was really curious about Chu Xiang's skincare methods. Some netizens compared Chu Xiang's entire body and found that her figure had become better. It was as if her entire body had been refined. It was too magical. Chu Xiang had invested in a foreign company with this idea. When the CEO of the foreign company heard the news, he immediately called her. Xiang, did your skin really change in a month? Chu Xiang replied. Yes, what's the matter? Oh, my God. You really have a secret skincare method, right? Wouldn't it be a pity if you didn't share such a good secret recipe? If we use Chinese medicine to enter the domestic market, it will be very beneficial to open up the market. Are you right? Only then did Chu Xiang remember that this was a high-end cosmetics company. There was indeed room for manipulation. This company's products had high sales overseas, but their reputation in the domestic market was average. They had failed miserably in the domestic market. Chu Xiang had come up with a foolproof idea during their crisis to avoid losses. She had also gained a firm foothold in the domestic market. That was how she became a senior consultant of this company and received a generous salary. Chu Xiang thought for a moment and smiled. Of course I have a secret recipe. My transformation is the best endorsement. But if I share such a magical secret recipe, what benefits can I get? That little reward is not enough. The other party said straightforwardly. Come to the company and discuss it in detail. If it is really effective, we will be working partners. Our company has always been very generous to working partners. What do you think? Of course, I will check the schedule and let you know when I arrange the time. Please also consider how much profit you can give me in advance. If I am not satisfied, I may sell the secret recipe to other companies. Chu Xiang smiled and finalized the new way to make money. She also had to thank those haters. If it were not for them picking on her, she would not have thought of using her skincare method to make money. Chapter 53. Chu Xiang's secret recipe was good stuff, so negotiating was not a problem for her. After meeting with the company's CEO, Jensen, she received a 30% bonus from the cosmetics line and the permanent endorsement of the cosmetics line. When signing, Jensen exclaimed, "I can't believe that you're just a celebrity in the entertainment industry. You make me doubt my ability." Chu Xiang smiled as she signed. Who can't be an investor? Being a celebrity is just my interest. Happy cooperation. Happy cooperation. Jensen personally sent Chu Xiang out of the conference room and politely hugged her at the elevator door. "Oh Xiang, I hope we can continue to work together. I like you really, you're amazing." When the elevator door opened, Zhou Yi stood there facing their hug. His fingers moved slightly as he restrained himself from pulling Jensen away. Behind him was Jensen's assistant, who stepped forward and introduced, "Boss, this is the general manager of the Zhou Group, Mr. Zhou Yi. Mr. Zhou, this is our boss." Jensen and Chu Xiang had already separated. Zhou Yi asked with a fake smile, Xiang, why are you here?" Jensen asked. "Do you know each other?" Chu Xiang smiled. "That's right, this is my boss." Jensen was pleasantly surprised. What a coincidence. In China's words, it's fate, we're really fated. "Mr. Zhou, let's talk in my office?" Zhou Yi walked to Chu Xiang's side and shook hands with Jensen. He continued with a fake smile. "Sorry, I suddenly remembered that I have something important to discuss with Xiang. Can we make an appointment next time?" "Of course, you guys go do your important things first." Jensen naturally agreed. Chu Xiang said goodbye to Jensen. Before leaving, she said, "I hope that your formula will be successfully completed and the cosmetics line will be released soon." "Definitely." Jensen smiled as he watched her walk into the elevator. He looked at her as if he was looking at a treasure. This was the goddess that brought him huge profits. Zhou Yi was extremely displeased. As soon as the elevator doors closed, he couldn't hold it in anymore. However, he couldn't ask directly, so he probed, Xiang, are you friends with Jason?" Chu Xiang took out her phone to check the schedule and casually replied, "Yeah, are you here to cooperate with him? Jason is a good person to work with." For the first time, Zhou Yi experienced what it felt like to be a lemon on the internet. Why had Chu Xiang never praised him like that? Zhou Yi glanced at Chu Xiang's side profile and cleared his throat. "Aren't you busy today? What about Tao and the others? You came here on your own?" "They left after dropping me off. I don't know how long Jason and I will talk for, but after we're done, we'll call a cab and head straight to the filming location." When the elevator reached the parking lot, Chu Xiang put away her phone and looked at him. "By the way, you were looking for me for something important? Is it about work?" Zhou Yi hurriedly made up a reason. "There's a charity banquet, and many big shots in the industry will be there. I wanted to ask if you're going." Chu Xiang refused without thinking. "No, my work schedule is very full recently, and my resources are very stable at the moment. It's not a good thing to jump ranks." She didn't know how many banquets she had attended, so of course, she was more interested in filming. Besides, she really didn't need to meet any big shots now. It was too early. She would only have a job after her show was broadcast. Zhou nodded and let her get in the car. I'll take you to the filming location. It's at the aquarium, right? Yes. Chu Xiang took out the makeup remover in her bag and began to remove her makeup. In her mind, she had already started the filming process. Zhou glanced at her. When he started the car, all he thought about was the moment when the elevator doors opened, the scene of Chu Xiang and Jason hugging, and the way Jason looked at Chu Xiang at the end. It was really dazzling. After a few minutes of silence, he asked, "You and Jason are friends. Why did you put on makeup to see him? Now you have to remove it. How troublesome is that? Isn't it good to be like this in front of me?" Chu Xiang wiped off the eyeliner and replied, "Makeup is basic etiquette when discussing business. You're my boss, so you can be more casual." When Zhou heard "one of us," he raised the corner of his mouth and immediately said in surprise, "Discussing business. Your previous investment was with Jason? It's considered one of the partners. By the way, they will soon launch a makeup line and have signed me as the permanent spokesperson for this line. This brand is a high-end brand, and it's considered my first luxury brand endorsement. Can you help me pass the contract to Uncle Dong?" Zhou immediately thought of the 2 rumors about Chu Xiang changing her face on the internet. She had used a miracle drug to change her face and crazily Chu Xiang. He couldn't help but smile. "So you're here to talk about cooperation. Okay, I'll take the contract back. You're too much of a burden for the company. You're even talking about a luxury brand endorsement. Don't worry about this. I've already asked someone to help you contact the right resources. It won't stop." Zhou tone was too different from before, and it finally attracted Chu Xiang's attention. She raised her head from the mirror and looked at Zhou. She raised her eyebrows and silently asked him what he meant. Zhou restrained his smile and was silent for a few seconds. He looked at her and admitted defeat. "Sorry, I just couldn't help it. I thought you and Jason. I was overthinking." Chu Xiang recalled what Zhou had said just now and realized that Zhou was jealous. She took a new wet wipe and wiped her face again. She didn't care and said, "It's okay." She didn't say anything, but Zhou felt uncomfortable and looked at her again and again. When he saw that she had removed her makeup and closed her eyes to rest, he finally said, "Aren't you going to give me a response? I've already made it so obvious. You should at least let me know where I stand and what to do next." Chu Xiang closed her eyes. "I'm only interested in being a star recently. I'm not interested in dating. Besides, I might not have time to date in the next few years." Zhou heaved a sigh of relief when he didn't hear her say that she didn't like it. He said patiently, "How can you not have time in a relationship? We can keep it a secret. If you're busy, I can look for you." Chu Xiang opened her eyes and looked at him in confusion. "Why would you look for me when I'm busy? To see me busy?" Zhou choked and thought for a moment. "Seeing you busy? That's fine too. You always have time to eat and rest. Can't we be together then? Then what's the fun in dating me? It's better to find a beautiful girl who's free to play with you in the office. Isn't dating for fun? It's the same as not looking for someone like me who's busy from morning to night." Zhou thought about what she said and actually felt that he couldn't refute it. He coughed twice to calm down, found a seat on the side of the road and stopped. He turned to look at her and said seriously, Xiang, I'm not looking for a random person to fall in love with. It's because that person is you that I want to fall in love. If it's someone else, I won't go to school. So if you're busy, I'll be happy to see you. Then, when you're done with work, won't you be happy to have me with you? I know your career is on the rise, and I plan to slowly take over the business at home. We can meet when we're free." Chu Xiang's heart didn't move at all. She felt that this was similar to being a furnace in the immortal cultivation world. When you're busy, you'll have fun. When you're busy, you won't care. Zhou recommended himself so strongly, just for a little time when she wasn't busy? What a strange person. She looked at her watch and reminded him, "Let's go to the aquarium first. I want to get to know everyone before the shooting starts. Private matters can be left for later." She turned to Zhou Yi and smiled. I'm not in the mood to have one more person around me recently. When I want to be alone, I'll look for you, okay? Oh. Zhou Yi started the car a little blankly. Did he feel that something was wrong? Why did these words sound so trashy? He was still the trashy one. But he actually felt a little happy, because Chu Xiang meant that she would look for him when she wanted to be in love. Did this mean that he had succeeded? On the way to the aquarium, he didn't know whether he had succeeded or not. He always felt that he had been tricked by Chu Xiang. When Chu Xiang was about to get out of the car, he grabbed Chu Xiang and asked doubtfully, Are you afraid that I'll pester you, so you're just perfunctory with me? Chu Xiang found it funny and said, Then what do you want? I don't have time. This is the first time I heard that you don't like to be in love because you don't have time. So, do you like me? Zhou Yi looked at her and held his breath, wanting a definite answer. Chu Xiang told him the truth. I prefer myself, at any time. So for me love is not as important as what I'm interested in. Is it dispensable? Zhou Yi let go of her. After she got out of the car, he lowered the window and asked one last question. Then can I look for you? Yes, go back. Chu Xiang waved at him, and turned to walk into the aquarium. Zhou Yi kept looking at her back and slowly sorted out her meaning. She didn't hate it, but she didn't like it either because she didn't think about it at all. She just wanted to be famous. This was the first time he knew that a star refused the pursuit of a big shot in the entertainment industry for the sake of being famous. The reason was that she didn't have time to be famous. Well, it was also very amazing. However, if Chu Xiang wasn't unique, would he be attracted to her? Just now, because of the sudden confession, Chu Xiang's answer was beyond his expectations, and he was a little caught off guard. Now that he had calmed down and regained his rationality, what kind of reason was this? He could pursue Chu Xiang in her free time. Zhou Yi called the head of operations and asked for Chu Xiang's detailed schedule. Of course, it was not easy to pursue an interesting soul. He had to make the first move before others knew how good Chu Xiang was. Chu Xiang soon found that when she was busy filming 2 variety shows, no matter which city she flew to, she could see Zhou Yi after work. Sometimes he would eat with her, sometimes he would bring her a bunch of snacks, sometimes he would accompany her to the swimming pool to relax, and sometimes he would just leave after a glance at her. Because Zhou Yi didn't interfere with Chu Xiang's working time at all, she didn't feel bad when there was one more person in her free time. So naturally she got used to it. Even Tao and Brother Yong were used to disappearing when Zhou Yi appeared. Anyway, Zhou Yi took care of Chu Xiang better than they did of their aunt, so there was no need to worry at all. As Zhou Yi got closer to Chu Xiang, he felt that he was more like Zhou Zi. Chu Xiang's heart wasn't with him at all. The only fortunate thing was that none of the other men could catch Chu Xiang's eye. He began to work hard to make his presence known and strive to rise as soon as possible. He also secretly ordered a set of manservant suit, intending to give Chu Xiang a big surprise on her birthday. That you're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.